Baddies.
Yeah.
Baddies. Baddies. Baddies.
Yeah. Batteries. Because there's a lot of batteries going on.
No, there's a lot of battering going on.
But that's battery.
In baddies.
Battery. There's a lot of battering baddies on baddies battering each other with batter bats.
If you've never seen
Girls.
Baddies, for those of us
Baddies.
it's kind of not even kind of. It is the spiritual successor of Bad Girls Club.
Literally.
Because it started by Natalie Nunn.
Yeah. But it's some of the same people, too.
It's the same concept.
Yeah.
Hot chicks, great makeup, banging bodies, semi-exotic locales.
Yeah.
Beating the fuck out of each other.
Yes.
That is baddies in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
These bitches are so primed to fight that they know their wigs are going to get snatched. And some of these hoes show up in matching bonnets. They got the shoes, the dress, the everything, and the wig and the bonnet matches the outfit, bitch. What?
And no one fights harder than the little ones. Those fists fly fast and furious. And they come away with facial scratches.
Those little heifers got a lot to prove.
Yes.
Because they little tiny short skinny bitches in a cast of thick ass glamazons that look like those punches packed some weight.
Yeah.
So they gotta fight hard. Little bodies get beat up real bad when big people jump on them.
Yep.
A bitch lost a tooth. We were watching the Baddies reunion and a bitch got punched in the face and I think she lost a tooth.
I think so too.
These bitches are spitting blood like boxers.
Truly. And that one chick that we think lost the tooth, she ran off so quick and she would not open her mouth.
Because she had water in it and she knew she was going to spit blood. That's why I think that's the one that lost the tooth. But if you just like bitches going to see those pops connect.
Yes.
Then watch Baddies One Zeus. It's just pretty ladies beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, it is mindless entertainment. And they are having the time of their lives.
In the best and worst way possible.
I know, right? There, but for the grace of God go a lot of us.
Man. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these broads are either straight from the strip club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or they're insta-baddies.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is their way...
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Into more, mainstream food.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? If you can get that jack
models. Yeah. They're models. They're D-list celebrities.
That are willing to beat the fuck out of each other for my entertainment.
Yeah. Hosted by Saucy Santana.
Which, Saucy don't even try to host.
Oh, no. The Saucy is, the number one spectator.
Saucy does not try to host. Saucy came to wear her evening gown.
Yes.
Those big furry boots.
Yeah.
Put some leg out on that evening gown.
Yep.
Because the melanin was popping. Everything was moisturized. Your beard was shiny and on point. The nails were kicking. Yeah. Everything. Saucy has interview cards, but he ain't interviewing shit.
No.
Saucy is the main one sitting there on the stage going, fuck her up. Fuck her up. Fuck her up.
Meatball's the MVP.
Why do all the big girls have fucked up names?
I know. Meatball, Rolly,
and Biggie. Yeah. I'm like, I know they're the big girls, but damn.
No wonder they're beating the shit out of absolutely everyone.
The one girl, Rolly, was so fucking zen waiting to pop the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah. They just will not come toward her.
She was just sitting on the edge of the sofa, zen as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
For a visual, she's sort of built like Lizzo.
Yes.
Maybe a tiny bit smaller, give or take. But she's got a Lizzo figure, which is still nice. It's just bigger.
Yeah.
And she was sitting on the edge of that table or whatever the hell she was sitting on looking zen. And she had a look on her face that said, I'm half holy, half hood. And I wish a motherfucker would.
Really? She was just waiting for them to sort themselves out. Choose among you who will be my challenger. And Raggedy Pants very nearly was.
Oh, Tommy from Love and Hip Hop. She got fired for being too violent.
But she is scared of Zen.
I would be scared of Riley too. That bitch will lift you up like it's the WWE and body slam the fuck out of you. And you can't tell me no different.
Yeah.
Any woman that shows up on TV in pink sweatpants,
they were cute,
white Air Force Ones,
yes,
a black Nike t-shirt, and a bonnet, and the only makeup she had on her face was eyeliner, mascara, and a little bit of lip gloss. The rest of that was Vaseline. She was ready. You do not fuck with a person like that.
No, she was like truly zen, truly centered.
She was ready.
She's mesmerizing. And like Raggedy Pants, she would talk to her, but she would not come close enough. She would not come within range. We have not seen anyone be brave enough to take her on.
She's drunk, not crazy.
You do
not fight people that calm.
No. God, no.
That bitch is hanging on to serial killer energy. Leave it. And in case you didn't know where you are, this is not a baddies recap, but it could be. I am Samara.
And I am Jeannie.
And this is Talk Deadly. They need to finish off this fucking reunion so I can quit being obsessed with baddies.
It is a reunion it's been going on for like 3 weeks, hasn't it?
It's a 4-part reunion.
Nice.
And it ain't nothing but bitches slapping the fuck out of each other.
I know.
No, slapping the fuck out of each other does not put that fine of a point on it. That would imply it's housewives.
I know.
No. This is windmills.
This is street fighting.
And broads that will body check you.
Yeah. Like, really, like, people are bleeding. Teeth are flying. They're fighting for real.
Their security puts in work.
Yeah.
Housewives and all those other shows, some skinny bitch throws a drink. Oh, security. On a Zeus show, on baddies, security doesn't come out until somebody's on the ground because they know letting the bitch get stomped out is dangerous.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's why. But enough about baddies for right now. Ginny, tell me what you know about lobbyist David Miller.
Washington lobbyist?
He's based out of LA, but yeah.
Okay. Honestly, no. I know local council members. I know mayors. The lobbyists, honestly, escape me.
That's probably for the best.
I'm obsessed. I'm not that obsessed.
We'll get there. So we'll start this where we always start, at the beginning. David Russell Miller.
Oh my gosh, that is very, very white bread.
It's Wonder Bread.
It truly.
Fortified with vitamins and minerals.
David Russell Miller, yeah.
Was born in Sardis, Ohio.
That makes sense. That is very Ohio, that name.
And so, to give you some blah on geography, Sardis is about 2 hours away from my hometown in Canton. It's a teeny tiny place of about 1,000 people. If it had 1,500, 2,000, I would be shocked.
Sundown town.
Truth.
Because it sounds like 2 hours outside of Canton sounds like you're getting into sundown territory.
I don't know if it is for sure or not, honestly.
I would bet good money.
Ohio is a weird state. Because we are the North.
Yeah.
Ohio quit having, generally, sundown towns by the 1940s.
Oh, yeah?
They had gotten rid of them in theory. Meaning, and what that means is they quit enforcing sundown town laws by the 1940s.
Okay, that's ahead of the curve.
But nobody wants to be the person that makes their career off of repealing sundown town laws.
Yeah.
So, actually, where we are right now, Glendale, California, is a sundown town. My black ass should not be running around outside after 10 o'clock.
Boo.
But nobody enforces it.
Yeah.
But the laws are still technically on the books. That's what I said. There are certain things that no politician wants to base their career off of. Nobody wants to be the guy that spends their career making chicken fucking illegal.
Yeah. Yes.
Nobody wants to spend their time being the one that makes goat fucking a crime.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be the guy that makes their entire career off of changing these antiquated laws from the post-Civil War era. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to make their career doing that.
Yeah.
Especially because they're laws that nobody enforces.
Yeah.
So, Ohio probably does have plenty of sundown towns. Not especially these little small places like Sardis.
Yeah.
But nobody's enforcing that shit, but also nobody's going out of their way to take the laws off the books either.
Yeah.
It's a very weird thing.
Yeah.
And there's laws like that all over the country. Not like just sundown town shit, but like...
Oh yeah, places where like blowjobs are illegal.
Yeah, like women can go to jail for wearing pants. Like, nobody wants to be the guy that's like, I'm taking this off the books.
Yeah.
Because nobody enforces that shit anyway.
You're just wasting time.
Except for the chicken fucking thing. Enforce that. Enforce no fucking of chickens.
No animal cruelty.
Yeah. Unless you're just into chicken heads, and that's like a very...
No,
because a chicken head is a very specific type of low-class broad. So if you're just into chicken heads, that's fine.
Find a lady.
But, like, that's a specific type of broad, not an actual chicken.
Yeah.
So go get that.
Yes.
Get her, but not that. So, like I said, Sardis is one of those towns, less than 1,000 people. It's not even big enough to stop for gas on the road from Canton to Pittsburgh, which is about a 2-hour drive. Funny. And for you, Sardis would be about 20 minutes across the Ohio River from West Virginia.
Yeah.
So now you know exactly where we're.
Awesome. So like Marietta.
Yeah. Ish.
Yeah. That's the part that might be like the Appalachian part of Ohio.
Heading towards it.
Yeah.
Nobody in Ohio considers themselves Appalachian. Let's just make that clear.
No, I'm talking about the part of Ohio the Appalachians are like, yeah, it's ours.
Oh, yeah, no, but Ohioans, we don't claim that shit.
Of course not.
Nah.
Of course not.
We don't claim that shit. West Virginia, y'all, because we don't talk about a lot, but you're there. You're there. Like, you could come to the reunions and stuff, but after that, we don't kick it.
Yeah.
So growing up, David was an odd kid. Didn't do drugs. Didn't drink.
Okay.
Didn't hang out with the wrong crowd.
Oh, that's good.
He always got good grades.
Yay.
But nobody in his family knows anything about his inner life.
Oh.
He doesn't.
Like he didn't talk to them? What?
He doesn't tell them anything.
How?
He doesn't tell them what clubs he's in. He doesn't tell them what sports he plays. He doesn't tell them what projects he's working on. He doesn't tell them what books he's reading.
Weird.
He doesn't tell them what friends he's hanging out with.
Okay. So they just don't know anything about him.
They know nothing about his inner life.
Weird.
None.
That is so strange.
And by the time he's high school age,
yeah,
they have settled into this, like, don't start none, don't be none. That as long as he continues to bring home good grades and does not show signs of turning into some sort of weird 1970s hippie junkie, they're content to let it slide.
Oh, weird. Weird. That's so weird. Like, it's weird that he's hiding everything. Like, he's that private. Like, he's so private, he doesn't let his family know anything. And also, I think it's really weird that his family isn't, like interrogating this whole town of 1,000 people. Are you kidding me? I would be talking to his teachers, so, like, what is going on? Talking to his principal. This kid is, like, not telling me shit. What is he into? What club is he in?
Honestly, I think the town is so small.
Who's his friends?
The town is so small that, like, as long as no negative gossip is getting back to them, because, you know, the negative gossip does travel a lot faster than any positive gossip. So no negative gossip is getting back to his family.
Either way, it's weird to not be curious. To be so incurious as to just kind of let your kid be a complete mystery.
I didn't say that they weren't curious. I just said at a certain time they gave up.
That's weird, too.
They were probably curious from, like, elementary school to high school, but at a certain point, they stopped.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up. And as long as no negative gossip is coming their way...
Yeah.
Because, you know, if he was hanging out with the wrong crowd or was a junkie, they would know.
Yeah.
And he's bringing home the good grades. They're just like, don't start none, don't be none. It's weird. So even though he didn't tell his family anything, David did make himself a part of several organizations and clubs in high school. He belonged to the local boys club. He was a statistician for most of the sports teams at his school.
Nerd.
Yes. I'm not even going to fight. Yes.
Well, good for him finding a way to participate.
But even though his parents had no idea why he was the way he was, some of his friends seemed to have a little insight. Boredom. David is constantly fighting boredom.
Oh, Jesus.
And the worst thing that you could ever do is be bored.
Okay.
And so he needs to be able to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, to stave off the boredom.
Oh my God.
And letting people know what he's doing will make him bored.
Oh, God.
Because if you know what I'm doing, you can interfere. You can stop me. You can have input. You can change my plans.
Yeah.
And changing my plans may be boring.
Oh, God. He sounds really boring.
Kinda.
Like, that sounds so insufferable.
You're about to learn how somebody can be absolutely boring and thoroughly imaginative all at the same time.
That sounds... Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Oh.
Because that shouldn't be possible.
But it is.
It sounds like AI.
Maybe he is one?
Maybe.
No, he's too old to be one. But anyway.
NPC.
Yeah, he's a non-playable character. In 1968, David graduated from high school, and 2 months later, when he turned 18, he packed his bags, left Sardis, never to return.
Wow.
Seriously, he goes no contact with his entire family. He never steps foot in Sardis ever again. And if he ever speaks to his people, meaning his parents, siblings, any extended family that might still be in Sardis, if he ever spoke to those people again after he left, it's not documented.
Weird.
Which leads me to believe he was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, just done.
Not coming back.
Like a weird lizard person I've hatched from my egg. And I'm just going to leave the nest.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because Sardis is fucking boring.
Well, that's true. If you're scared of boredom, that's a scary place.
Boring. It's a one-light town.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the population of Sardis may have changed a bit since, like, the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But to this very day, if there's more than 2,000 people there, I would be shocked.
Yeah.
It is. It's the kind of place where, and I'll probably repeat this later, but it's the kind of place where your life is dictated to you from the minute you're conceived. You're born here. You're going to run this kind of business here. You're going to marry this type of person here. You're going to have XYZ kids here. You're going to attend school. Like,
yeah.
It is very much the type of place where your life is sort of preordained.
Yeah.
If you want it to be.
Yeah. But he didn't, so he got the fuck out.
Right. And that's the level of boredom that he feels he's fighting against.
Okay.
Now, I understand that kind of boredom because it's something that, even though Phoenix is a much, much bigger city than Sardis ever was, I do understand the restlessness that comes with growing up in suburbia. I get it. He just moved to LA. Just moved to a more exciting town.
Exactly.
So after he turned 18 and left Sardis, David packed his bags and moved to Athens, Ohio.
Oh, hey.
Where he attended Ohio University.
There you go.
There. He did something.
Yeah.
Didn't go as far away as I think he should have gone, but whatever.
It's a start.
But Athens is like 4 towns over.
Yeah.
I think Athens might be the next biggest. Athens is smaller than Canton.
Probably.
Athens is smaller than Canton, definitely smaller than Pittsburgh or Cincinnati and Columbus.
Yes.
But Athens would be like the next biggest city without going the 2 hours to Canton, maybe the 2.5 hours to Columbus.
So like population 6,000 to 10,000.
Yeah. Without going all the way to Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Columbus, Canton, Cleveland. God, it feels so weird to say the Akron-Canton area is bigger than something.
Yeah.
Because to me, I could fit those 3, my hometown area into a thimble.
Yeah.
But no, they're definitely bigger than Sardis, and it feels very strange to describe them as anything other than 2-horse towns.
True.
Very
but to
foreign.
Sardis, it's a city.
It's a very foreign concept to me. David was very bright, so keeping up with his college studies wasn't tricky. It's fine. But it's in college where David starts openly lying about where he came from.
Where is he from now?
Wherever he needs to be to satisfy the moment.
Oh, boring. That's boring.
See, David considered Sardis a prison.
Mm-hmm.
Very boring prison. Like I said, it's quite literally a 1-horse town.
Yeah.
You live there, you grow up there, you marry there, you die there. Everything is dictated to you.
Oh, yeah.
Again, if you want to stay. Now that he's in a larger space with new people, David, he feels that lying is a kind of freedom. He can be who he wants. Whenever he wants, whenever he wants.
Man, he's gonna love the internet.
He'll be in jail before that. Hashtag spoiler. He'll be in jail long before that.
I guess it makes a kind of weird logical sense.
It's weird because there are parts of his story that, and maybe you to a maybe a lesser extent, of like growing up in small town suburban America.
Yeah.
There is a boredom.
Oh, sure.
And I understand the restlessness.
Yeah.
I don't understand the lying.
That's weird.
There's nothing wrong with saying I'm from XYZ small town in Ohio.
Yeah.
But I'm also really into art and whatever, and I can't wait to fucking blow the city up and explore and do things. If anything, I would think, or at least in my experience coming from small towns to bigger cities, telling people that you're from a small town area and that you're excited to explore gravitates people to you.
Yeah. That's seen as exotic. Like, if you're really from a small town, you're a weirdo. Come here.
And
tell me your weird things.
And people, we discount this a lot, but people that grow up in large cities love to show off their city.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Every time somebody,
Cities are great.
Especially when I moved to LA, like in college, and every time somebody would say, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from Canton." "Where is that?" "I don't know where that's at." "Well, because I went to FITM, so nobody cared about football."
Yeah.
If you care about football, you know where Canton is. If you don't, you've no frame of reference. And so you're like, yeah, I grew up in a small town in Ohio, about an hour outside of Cleveland. Oh my God, I cannot wait to explore XYZ goth club scene.
Yeah.
We have no goths in Ohio. We have very few goths in Arizona.
Yes.
I love death metal. This is my jam. Show me your shit.
Yes.
I had no shortage of people that wanted to take me through every dirty, rotten, underground club, give me
Yes.
all of the experience for better and for ill.
Yeah, they are legion.
Because they want to show off their city.
Yeah.
You don't have to lie to kick it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like you said, telling people that you're from a small town and you're eager to explore just brings the city people to you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you interesting in a weird way.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We like fish out of water.
Yeah. But when David met new people, he would tell them fantastic stories.
Oh my god, like Lost Prince shit.
Close.
Oh my god, really?
Oh, especially women.
Of
He had all the
course.
stories for women.
Of course.
According to friends.
Because women be lying. That's why you gotta lie first.
Honestly, I don't think he'd get the women if he didn't lie about something.
Probably.
According to friends, David would tell whatever story he needed to tell to get what he wanted or to impress somebody. Doesn't matter. If he has to be a pasty white Nigerian prince, he'll do it.
Oh my god.
Like, he's not above telling a lie that ridiculous.
Wow. That's incredible.
Not only is he not above telling lies that ridiculous, but he has a weird... There's a charm about him that makes him seem very trustworthy.
Oh.
And it might be the small town thing.
Oh.
That he's got kind of an aw shucksiness to him.
Okay, I can see that.
That people just take his ridiculousness at face value.
Oh my god. Like if Rose Nyland only lied.
Yes.
Like the St. Olaf thing.
Rose Nyland evil.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Evil Rose Nyland.
Yes.
That's what we're dealing with.
Okay. Because there's a baddie charm to her.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's a baddie charm to him too.
Yes. And from his perspective, lying does not make David a lousy person.
Of course not.
Honestly, a lot of times he doesn't get anything from a lie that he tells. At least at this stage in life.
Mm-hmm.
Much later, and we'll get there.
It's just storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much later in his lobbying career.
Of course.
He will get money from lying.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically a scammer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he sounds like a consummate bullshit artist.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Really, he just is out at this point in college. He's just trying to make himself sound more interesting than a guy from Sardis whose family lived within spitting distance of the only stoplight in town. That's all he wants right now.
Wow.
And while David is more than willing to lie about his background in the town he grew up in, like I said, he's not above using that "aw shucks" small town boy charm to really sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the lie that we as Americans tell ourselves is that small town people are somehow better. They're somehow more honest.
Yeah.
And they are somehow more
Authentic.
trustworthy.
They're
And
more Christian.
lies.
I know.
Lies from the pits of hell.
Straight from the deepest, darkest pits of hell.
Some of the worst people I know are from my shitty ass small town.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know any raping murderers from LA, but I know at least 4 from Canton.
You're not wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Personally, the ones I know, none of them are from LA.
Exactly.
Not one. All my friends who live in like Chicago or New York or no. You see weird things on public transportation. You see burnt out cars on the street sometimes, but it's really impersonal. The weird, scary shit happens in small towns. Not here.
Canton is bigger with maybe 100,000 people, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Still small city. But I know the kids that I grew up with, I know no less than 4 bank robbers, 2 rapists,
Wow.
and like 6 murderers.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was my 2nd grade boyfriend.
Wow.
that I shared with my second grade best friend, and she went on to have like 3 kids with them. To which I say, "Bitch, you won! Congratulations!"
Small towns are fucked up.
Yeah.
Cities are not as dangerous as they lead you to believe.
And it's so weird that the PR around small towns are like, "Gee, these salt of the earth would never do anything bad." Smallville people know they are the most dangerous motherfuckers you'll ever run into. No. No. So now he's got all these lies going, right? People are falling for his shit, because they feel that he's trustworthy.
Yeah.
He's going on. Now all David needs to do is ensure that his social circles do not overlap.
Oh, jeez.
So like a lot of college opens up a whole new world
Yeah.
for David. It's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Unlimited opportunity.
Yes.
Right at your feet. You're young.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah.
The world is quite literally your oyster.
Discover yourself.
Yes. But the sheer number of opportunities that college presented David with was overwhelming.
Yeah. It's a lot more clubs.
But not... See, when most of us think of being overwhelmed, you think, "Oh my God, I can't do anything. There's so much that I can't.
Yeah.
Can't move, can't breathe." So David would be almost paralyzed with indecision. That's how overwhelmed he would be.
Okay.
But instead of just being like shut down like most of us are, when we're paralyzed, when we're overwhelmed like that,
Yeah.
most people just shut down.
Yeah, sure.
And let somebody else make a decision for you because you are
let fate decide.
Clearly not capable in that moment. David would toy with ideas like taking the same class twice because he wanted to learn from 2 different professors.
Okay.
Or how do I take 2 different classes at the same time? Because I will get something out of both of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But I need them all.
Yeah.
It's more like indecision makes him gluttonous.
Yeah.
And he's trying to figure out a way to do all of the things all of the
miss
time.
Out on anything.
Right. And that's the fight against boredom. He doesn't want to miss a goddamn thing. Because I miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh, God. Foul.
Because even when I dream of you.
We sing a lot of bullshit on this show, and I call foul. I call foul on air.
Oh, there's a reason why Liv Tyler barely speaks to her daddy. Anyway. Honestly, she hasn't been that level of famous for me to care in a while. They may be fine now. But there was a time I'm like, yeah, that's why you don't talk to him that much.
Steven Tyler is deep into his auntie phase.
He is the lesbian he has always wanted to be.
Axel.
No, Axel is Rip Torn.
Ah, yes.
Actually, Axel ate Rip Torn.
Yes.
He's become Rip Torn.
Yes.
But he does have lesbian auntie parties with Steven Tyler. So there we are. David hated the idea that he was only one person with one set of choices.
Okay.
He wants it all. He wants to do all of the things. If he could take biology, chemistry...
He wants the world. He wants the whole world.
I want it all. I want it all. And I want it now.
Yes. Veruca. Okay.
Like, there's a part of me that sympathizes.
Well, sure.
But at a certain point, you have to realize that you are only one person. And you can't be everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. That movie wasn't even out when he's going with this shit. But even...
Like, deal with reality. Make a choice.
Even in that movie, which is excellent. If you haven't seen Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, you should. But even in a movie that's about essentially time travel and bending dimensions to your will, You only have one set of choices.
Yeah.
Because you're only one person.
Yeah.
Even in a movie that fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta make a decision.
Yes.
And he couldn't do it. And this extends to the women that he dates. He often tried to have several relationships simultaneously.
Of course.
And I don't mean in the casual dating kind of way.
Yeah.
Because I've done that.
No, this guy, the pathology is being set up.
Yes.
I could see him having 3 girlfriends. They're all serious, and none of them know about each other.
Because he's still that small town Midwestern boy,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't be a slut like that.
No, not even a dude.
Yeah, you can't be a whore.
Yeah.
So you have to maintain stable relationships.
Yes.
With different people.
All of the people.
At the same time.
I must date all of the women. All the women all at once.
Yeah. A lot of times, his dating and whoever he wants to be with,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it contradicts.
Mm.
Like, he can't date the goth girl, or he shouldn't date the goth girl, while he's trying to date the trad wife. And,
Yeah.
it's all contradictory.
Yeah.
And if anybody finds out about the other person, it's going to implode badly.
Yeah.
And not just because you were dating multiple people,
Yeah.
but because you're presenting a different version of yourself with each person. Nobody really knows this guy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. Who would date him? Who would date him?
So around this time, David figures out that as long as he mixes with different social circles,
Mm-hmm.
he could be as many people as he wants.
Oh my God.
With many choices.
'Cause I'm a million different
People
people.
from one day to the next. I can't change my mode.
No.
It is a bittersweet symphony, this
Right.
life.
This guy's nuts.
And he says none will be none the wiser.
Mm.
Oh, now, by his sophomore year, David had decided to join student government.
Oh, goody. Of course. That actually is perfect for his personality. Student government's the worst.
And this allowed David to keep his nasty little fingers in a lot of nasty little pies and a lot of different nasty little social circles.
Oh, I can see it. I shall play the theater people against the football people against the homecoming committee.
Yeah. Bro, he had them all. He had jocks, he had the nerds, he had the 4-H people, the chess club. Everybody knew David.
Yeah.
Everybody needed something from David.
Sweet, sweet funding.
And nobody knows anything about David.
Ugh.
He's moving around so much
Yeah.
that everybody knows him, but everybody's getting a different story about who he is, where he came from, and they're not comparing notes because he shows up so much everywhere that everybody knows him, so everybody's assuming they all know the same shit about him.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, no one expects, like, the person next to them to just be a complete psycho who has, like, 10 different identities and ways of being around different people.
At any given moment.
Exactly. Like, if we were running around and you started talking in, like, a Jamaican accent to people, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I did that once, but I was in, like, elementary school. It wasn't a Jamaican accent. It
Well,
was
that's
an
okay if
Australian.
you're a kid.
It was an Australian accent. We fooled a whole scene.
Oh, that's so cute.
Or at least all the
different when you're a
grown-ups
kid.
allowed us to think that they were fools.
That's sweet.
But no, that's different. I was a child doing what children do.
Yeah. This guy, is a piece of work.
Yeah. Yeah. And student government just didn't give David his first brush with popularity. Remember, he was a mid-student.
True.
People, much like in college, people only know him because he circulates constantly, not because there's anything about him and people are interested in. But now he also has his first taste of power. Power, Genie.
Oh, God.
Power of student government. Oh, yeah.
God help us.
During his time at Ohio University, David received favors from professors, student advisors, activists. They all wanted something from him. Or the student government at large. They wanted them to endorse this. Sign off on that. Share funding for this.
That's above and beyond for student government.
But that's what they all want something from him. Oh, he likes to grease those wheels, girl.
I found my calling.
Yeah, because as he approaches graduation, he's like, politics. Politics. That's where I'm going.
A man with no core. Yes, politics is perfect.
In 1973, the ink on his diploma was barely dry, and he moved to D.C.
Poor D.C.
Oh, he's like, he is going to make a name. He's going to be that bitch.
Yeah.
David's first job in politics was as a congressman's researcher.
Okay, that's a decent job.
Very decent, very boring, very getting your feet wet.
Yeah.
You like start off as a researcher, and then you become a staffer, and then you're like an official aide, and then you just keep rising up whatever the different levels of aides are.
Yeah.
Until you become some sort of a politician yourself. Right? So he's on the path. And this is around the time that he meets his first wife. She is not named. Nobody cares.
Oh.
You know what? She probably cares. She just probably don't want to think about it.
Oh, bless. Yes.
It's a lot. David's first wife, like I said, she's not named, but she's attracted to David because he matched her political ambitions. She's looking to be a power couple. She may not be as psychotic as him.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's
driven.
She's looking for the Bill to her Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
The Barack to her Michelle.
Yes.
That's what she wants.
Yeah.
And that's what she sees in David. And especially because she believed everything that he said about being from a powerful political family in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I think he may have told her he was a McKinley or some shit.
Oh my God. Deep cuts.
Deep cuts Canton. That's right. We were one president. Only one.
Deep cuts.
But I can see him saying that ain't nobody gonna check.
True.
Nobody's gonna look.
Uh-huh.
People will barely remember that there was a president McKinley.
Exactly.
Like, they will literally have to go look that up. And by the time they look it up...
I think it's generous of you to think they would look it up.
I'm just saying, he's such an obscure president.
True. Mm-hmm.
That he can tell her anything.
Yes.
And she fell for those lies, and so they were married in 1975. Not long after getting his research gig, David started putting together what he would call the wall.
Okay.
It was a wall.
Yes.
That's the name. And he would fill it with pictures of him and wealthy, famous, influential people.
Okay.
Mostly celebrities and politicians. Mostly. I guess they're kind of one and the same depending on who the person is. But, so David is a political animal. He's going to go to every gala, every function, every dinner, every lunch, every brunch, every breakfast.
Yes.
He will be there with a camera. Hobnobbing, lying, greasing wheels.
Yes.
And then he'll get himself in a casual conversation with some, I don't know, like a Ted Cruz or something like that.
Yeah.
Weasels of the feather, come on.
I know.
You know.
I can't help but gag every time like he's brought up.
But
how could anyone not?
Josh Hawley.
Ugh.
See? It don't get no better.
Yeah, true.
Weasels of a feather. But he would, have a casual conversation with one of those types of weasels.
Yes. Yeah.
And then be like, hey, can I get a picture? on the wall. And you get 50, 60, 80, 100 of those over the years. And
it's a collection. Yeah.
It makes you look like you're more connected than what you are.
True.
Which is the point.
Yeah.
For him. You know, like he doesn't have any long-standing relationships with these people. He's literally just going to parties.
Yeah.
Events, galas, whatever the hell he can get himself invited to. Which, even as a researcher, you probably get invited to more than your fair share of goofy brunches, lunches.
Yeah, it's a lot of these award things, too. They have to have some filler.
Yeah.
So you need clappers. You need clappers for the winners.
Exactly. When we give out the first congressman of wiping his ass or whatever the award is. And so he just takes these pictures of these celebs and politicians, his most prized possession being a picture with Gerald Ford.
Oh my God. That's perfect.
I'm like, is that a get? Because Gerald Ford would take a picture with anybody.
That's true, but it's perfect for him.
I'm just saying.
I like this for him.
It's like, I don't think that's the flex you think it is.
It's the flex he deserves.
True, I just don't think it's the flex
his level
that he thinks it is.
Yeah.
Like, if I could get a time machine right now, Gerald Ford would take a picture with me.
Yeah, true.
He would look confused because he would not
positive attention.
He would not understand my 21st century garb, but I would be paying attention and talking to him, and I would get a picture. And then I would go back into my time machine. He'd probably drop dead of a heart attack.
Yes.
And then I'd fuck off. Because he saw the future and nobody would believe Gerald Ford.
True. Never gonna happen.
Oh, R.I.P. Gerald Ford. Didn't Squeaky Fromm try to kill him?
Oh. I
think
someone did try to kill him.
I think it was
Squeaky.
It was old Squeakers. It was old Squeakerton.
Man, the 70s were weird.
Weren't they?
Yeah. Yep.
Lord. So after 2 years of marriage, David's wife got tired of his shit. And she filed for divorce.
Good for you, lady.
And they had no kids, no shared property really to speak of.
So it was a clean escape.
In my head, this is this divorce.
Yeah.
They're standing in front of a DC townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not quite a row house.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Not all the way by the Capitol.
Yeah.
Just a step above a rooming house in front of the townhouse. Yes. He's wearing corduroy bell-bottom khakis. In some form of, like, early Chuck Taylors.
Yes.
With a green sweater and an orange scarf around his neck. Under his arm is a blue milk crate.
Yeah.
With his record collection. And in his hand is a suitcase, which is his portable record player.
Nice.
And then out from behind him walks his wife. She's wearing culottes and knee-high boots.
Yeah.
Both brown.
Yes.
The boots are dark leather brown and the skirt's almost a khaki.
Okay.
With the V in the front. That's how I know they're culottes. With an Angora sweater. Mm-hmm. She's a good girl. But the boots say etchy.
Yes.
And a pearl necklace. Aspiring politician.
Mm.
And she is leaving with a pink milk crate under her arm.
Yes.
And a red and white suitcase that is her portable record player.
Yes.
They get to the bottom of their stairs. They stare at each other before doing an about face in opposite directions and walking off to the sound of sad saxophone music.
Perfect.
Because it's the 70s.
Yes.
And that's how everything happened.
And it's like Jane Fonda and Robert Redford.
Yes, it's some shit like that. Yes. It's like the opening to like a movie named like The Weeping Willows or some such bullshit like that. Right? The one of us, the some of us, the average of us, or some. It's something very sappy.
Yeah.
And now they have to like go off and find themselves. Probably more fun than what it actually was. Actually, what I just described was probably more interesting than their divorce.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Because they didn't have anything to split or anything. So, by 1978, David was looking to spread his wings. DC is too small of a town.
Oh, yeah.
So David's gonna spread his wings. He's leaving DC and he's coming to Los Angeles.
Oh, good choice.
That's right. He comes to LA and he settles down in Granada Hills.
Oh, back and beyond.
See, he likes Granada Hills and the San Fernando Valley as a general rule because politicians in the valley have just as much power as their across-town counterparts.
True.
With none of the bullshit that comes with being a politician in Compton or Inglewood or Hollywood or East LA or Whittier. None of the bullshit that comes with being well known in, I guess, one of the more name brand cities.
Yeah.
In LA. So he'd just be off the beaten a little bit.
Okay.
He likes that.
Well, yeah, a con man would.
And it's the perfect place for David to open up shop as a lobbyist.
That's perfect.
Yep. Yeah. Why? No, he's like, Congressman, that's the fucked up game. Too many people look at you. Too many people know you.
I need to be even more despicable.
Rare. I mean, who are the celebrity lobbyists? Lee Atwater?
Maybe. Just the ones that are former politicians, really.
Yeah. Look, who's the one that went to jail and then was on Dancing with the Stars?
Abramoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, he was.
I think that was him.
Yeah.
He danced a wild thing. It was unfortunate. But like,
didn't he get kicked off early?
Oh yeah, it was awful. It was bad.
Mm.
I think I watched that season because Betsy Johnson was on it.
Oh my god.
I was like, she's gonna go home early, but I want to see an octogenarian.
But I want to see it.
I want to see an octogenarian do the splits. Because Betsy can still do the splits.
Good for you, Betsy.
It's very proud of her. She still was like the third person to leave.
Not bad. Not bad. Because people are so judgmental and unfair to older women.
I think Tommy Chong almost won that season.
Really? Good
that was
for
a weird one.
Good for you, Tommy Chong.
There was a lot of weird shit happening in the pandemic, and me watching Dancing with the Stars was one of them. I was like, a topless Tommy Chong. I never needed that in my life. Anyway, David felt that as a lobbyist, it was going to be his best bet that he could get close to people with real political power and stay under the radar.
Yes.
Because celebrity lobbyists are pretty few and far between.
Very true.
And he liked having the freedom to move around the different levers of power without getting caught.
Yes.
He's very much enjoying his life.
He sounds like Skeletor.
He has a little.
He-Man.
If Skeletor was just slightly less ambitious or obsessed with He-Man.
I know. If Skeletor got into marketing or lobbying.
Yeah, like just bring it down a scale from like destroying Eternia.
Yeah.
Like if he brought it down just a notch, he would be David Miller. David was in California for less than 3 months before he got a job as a lobbyist for the paper industry.
Wow. Okay.
He got the job on the spot.
Yeah.
If nothing else, he's got a good mouth game.
Yeah, clearly.
He just goes in there with that, oh, shucks.
Yeah.
And people are like, yes, sure, have money, have a job.
That's what makes him a good lobbyist.
I guess.
He's obviously got, he's a good salesman.
Oh, he's a superstar lobbyist.
Yeah.
He brings in a lot of money for his firm. He brings in a lot. So his home base is in Granada Hills, but David, ever the snoozer, he's going to go to all the political events. Sacramento, I'm there.
Yeah.
DC, I'm there. New York, I'm there. Where you want me? Ooh, they having a buffet. I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, he went everywhere, determined to make a name for himself as a lobbyist. And, of course, forever adding pictures to the wall.
Yes.
By 1979, David felt that he needed to update his image, a little change to go around with the newfound cash and clout that he had. ZZ Top is playing in the background. As gone are the ratty suits from J.C. Penney's off the rack. Here come the custom tailored suits, the silk ties. That's right. They're going home just as long as they can. Cause everybody's crazy about a sharp dressed man. Yes, it's that video. That video is happening right now.
It's a great video. It's a great song.
That and Legs.
Yeah, that is a good one. Also, give me all your loving,
all your hugs and kisses too.
They do like basically the same song in very different ways.
Except for
really well.
I don't ask for much. Home, 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 home.
That is a good one. That's a good. That's a good. But they're
Top
good.
Is just everything.
They're like, well, yeah, they're like a better version of Tom Petty. Like Tom Petty basically does the same thing over and over.
But ZZ Top is just better.
Yes,
I just like ZZ Top more.
Yeah, some good guitars, man.
So yeah,
good guitars.
Just imagine the video for Sharp Dressed Man, and that is what David's doing right now. $300 haircuts, fancy suits, manicures, doing it, working it. And in addition to the wall, David started to dip his hand into things like $20,000 paintings.
Oh.
You know, for his office. Mm-hmm. He needs to look like money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's got fancy Italian leather sofas in his waiting room.
These are very expensive tastes.
Very minimalist glass desk in the office. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine American Psycho, but bell bottoms.
Oh, God.
That's what's happening right now, because it's the late 70s, early 80s. It's American Psycho with bell bottoms. We haven't brought in the big double-breasted suits yet.
Not yet.
The shoulder pads are a coming.
Yes, they are on the horizon.
We are on the cusp of Gordon Gekko. Greed is good. This is where we are.
Oh, yeah, we are.
That's the world he's playing in. Bye-bye hippies. Hello yuppies.
Yes, true.
David always foots the bills for fancy dinners, sometimes dropping $1,000 a night. Oh, he going to Spago.
Yeah.
All the fancy places in Beverly Hills, they're closed now. Replaced with other things. I think Spago is still there, but
probably Downtown is still there.
Yeah, I just don't think Spago has the cachet it used to. No. Now that we can all get Wolfgang Puck pizzas out of the freezer.
True.
I mean, I've been there once. It was nice. It was fine.
There's still good restaurants in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. But they just may not be like as big brand as they used to be. But he's spending the money. Mm-hmm. He even gave a $10,000 grant to Cal State Northridge.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He's very generous.
Yeah. He had a Jaguar with vanity plates.
Wow. What did they say?
Advocate.
Oh my God. Dang.
It's all the ZZ Top video right now.
True.
It's all of that.
That is his, that is his center.
There's like a girl with leg warmers checking him out.
Yeah.
You know, the magic car. The whole fucking shit.
There's nothing inside him except that video. Just in a loop.
Yeah. And when David had to travel to Sacramento, he often worked out of the offices of Senators Alan Robinson, Montoya, or Frank Hill.
Okay. Oh.
These three senators make up the lion's share of his client list. Mm-hmm. He has other clients other than them, but these three are the most important.
Yeah.
These are the three that he does the most work for.
Yeah.
Which, of course, these are the three he's doing the most billable hours for. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but when he strikes out on his own, these three will be the most important people on his client list. If he loses them, he has no business. All three of these senators would eventually be indicted and convicted of varying frauds by the 1990s.
I thought some of those names were familiar.
Yeah, by the 90s, all three of them are caught up in varying types of fraud. Mostly campaign fraud, money laundering, that type of shit.
That'll do it.
David does manage to avoid getting caught up in all of those scandals. But for people in the know, it wasn't unnoticed that David tended to hitch his wagons to senators or just people whose ethics were loose at best.
Yeah.
So there are some people that would never work with him.
Smart.
Because he comes with trouble.
Yeah.
Somehow. David wasn't just successful in creating a new look that impressed his clients. His new look and big spending also impressed the ladies.
Of course.
Now, David is not much to look at in the looks department without being repulsive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He's tallish, just under 6 feet, very fair skinned, super pale. Yet he has jet black hair.
Okay.
Usually people that fair, you're like a redhead.
True.
Or one of the lighter shades of blonde, but no, he is, I guess, goth from birth. He's definitely white with jet black hair.
Yeah.
Dark brown eyes that are almost black. That some people find mesmerizing.
I guess so.
Like, as I said, he's not much to look at without being repulsive.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just a guy. By the 80s, David's generally slender frame, it started to get a little thick in the middle.
Oh.
On a buffet lunches, girl.
True.
Rich foods that they serve
A lot
at
of
these
prayer breakfasts.
Oh, yeah. A lot of prayer breakfasts, prayer lunches.
Just buffets galore.
He ain't never been a buffet he didn't like. However, despite not being considered handsome in a traditional sense, David was almost always seen out and about with beautiful women on his arms. He's a solid 6. I'll be nice today.
Okay.
He's a solid 6. And he's out with 8, 9s, and 10s. Constantly. He had no shortage of women in his orbit and had no desire to settle down. And he usually dumps women when they start to get serious.
Okay. Yeah. Which sounds par for the course for a shallow guy.
Which is dickish, but at least you're honest.
True. Yeah.
You don't gotta be a dick and just be like, nope, fuck you, but let him know that this is never gonna be too much more than fun.
Yeah.
So
don't waste their time.
If you think you're catching feelings, you should leave, because I guarantee you it's not gonna be reciprocated.
Yeah.
He's semi-honest.
Yeah. He's true to himself.
True story. David felt like marriage was much like his tiny town in Ohio.
It's stifling.
A slow, suffocating death of mediocrity.
Of course.
And since he had no trouble getting women, there's no reason to settle down. Again, he's quasi-honest.
Yeah.
I will not begrudge a single person all of the boom traka that they can handle.
Yeah.
As long
good for you.
as you're honest with the person,
yeah,
that you don't want nothing more than some taka, and that you can have a good time, but not a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And be honest about it. Play safe and live your truth, girl. It's only when people lie and lead people on and make them think that it's going to get serious, and then you dump them and they're all confused and they've wasted months and months of feelings into you.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
That is.
But just being a horny person that's single,
that's
fine. But as much as David likes the company of beautiful women, he has zero respect for the women that he spends his nights with.
Of course.
Want to ask me why? Ask me why.
Why is he like this?
Why would you respect a woman that would fall for this shit? Why would you want to be with a woman that is so gullible that she believes the layer of shit that I drop down?
Yeah.
If you're dumb enough to fall for him, you're not good enough to be with long term.
Oh
He is
God.
his own red flag.
Well, I can't really argue with him.
I didn't say he was wrong, but
that is hysterical.
but-
He is a
but
red
it's like-
flag.
how often are you your own red flag? Oh, you like me? You believe me?
Yeah.
Girl, boom. No.
There's something wrong with you.
The fact that you like this is red flag, girl. You should not like anything that I'm putting down. That's hilarious.
That is.
And self-aware.
I think it's the closest he comes to it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you like me, just go
It's
back.
your fault. You're stupid. How could you be so stupid?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Jeannie.
Yes.
If you're willing to date David Miller, you're too gullible and dumb to be respected.
Red flag.
He
Red
is a
flag
walking
all the way.
his own red flag, though.
Yeah. Also, it's like, I don't know, normal people don't expect other normal people to just lie about everything.
True story.
So
True story.
shame on you. Shame on you, David, for lying and then being upset when people fall for your lies.
Right? But David's marriage views on marriage changed in 1979 when he met Dorothy Garofalo. No relation.
Got it.
No relation to Janine. You should have said Garofalo, her eyes gonna be like,
I love her.
it's like, nope, no relation. I checked for real. They don't seem to be related. With long, wavy, dark brown hair, striking green eyes, and a fantastic figure.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy was as beautiful as she was successful.
Okay.
When David came to LA to take the town by storm,
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy came to LA for a new life. Born in Belle Vernon, Pennsylvania
Oh my goodness.
in 1949 to strict but loving parents who did their best to raise their daughters as God-fearing women who could cook, sew, and had a strong work ethic.
Okay.
It was a time.
Yeah. It sounds typical for the times.
Yes. As she got to high school, Dorothy was the apple of every young man's eye. Even though she had the pick of any guy in town, she usually turned down a lot of the boys that asked her out. They're her friends.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any real romantic interest in any of the boys that she grew up with. One, because she sees them as friends.
Yeah.
Two, she's a lot more ambitious than some of her other friends. She knows a life married to one of her friends, one of these boys, is just living in Belle Vernon. He'll work in one of the mines
Yeah.
or a steel mill, refinery, whatever. She'll pop out 2 or 3 kids. They'll get an A-frame house. Life will be fine.
Yeah.
But she wants a little more than
Yeah.
life will be fine. So she friend zones a lot of these boys. And around her senior year, Dorothy went to the town next door to go to a dance.
Okay.
And it was at that dance that she met the boy that would take her breath away.
Yeah.
His name was Archie Garofalo.
Ooh.
Archie was so beautiful that when he was born,
Yes.
the nurses told his parents that they had never seen such a beautiful face on a boy child.
Wow. That's amazing. That's a hell of a story.
Never seen a more beautiful face on a boy child. Ever.
Archie Andrews.
Yes. Apparently, he's Archie, Betty, and Veronica all rolled into one. Like,
That's
he's
awesome.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Archie. I'm glad for you.
And by the end of the night, they were a couple. Like, that was it. It's... Even though that song was out in, like, 1953 or
but
whatever.
it was there spiritually.
Yes.
It has been in the universe since the Big Bang.
Yes. So while their friends settled down after graduation, Dorothy and Archie had bigger fish to fry.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy wanted to attend cosmetology school, and Archie wanted to work with computers.
Cool.
The pair married in 1968, and Archie sold insurance, and Dorothy worked in a salon.
Mm-hmm.
And by 1971, many of the mills and refineries that it kept the town of Belle Vernon and most of southern Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, the Rust Belt.
Yeah.
A lot of the jobs that kept those places afloat were starting to shut down.
Yes.
Archie's parents decided that they could no longer afford to stay in a slowly dying town.
Yeah.
So they sold their home and moved to LA.
That is a good move.
Dorothy and Archie followed suit a few months later, and the family settled in Northridge.
Wow. In the 70s?
Yeah.
Man. Oh, they practically got those houses for free.
Pretty much. Archie's parents get like a 2-bedroom apartment or like a 2-bedroom condo, something like that. But they downsized.
Yeah.
Basically, their kids were grown. But still, yeah, their rent, whatever mortgages were dirt cheap with whatever they bought. Archie once again sold insurance in Northridge, and Dorothy started to prepare to take the California test for her cosmetology license.
Nice.
But just before she was ready to take her exams, Dorothy got pregnant,
Oh.
giving birth to their daughter Brandy in 1972.
Oh, hey, Brandy.
Archie was doing so well that she could be a stay-at-home mom. It didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Archie is very pretty, and he's personable, which is what you need to be an insurance salesman.
True.
Like,
that is the best qualities to have.
But life being a stay-at-home mom left Dorothy feeling unfulfilled.
Yeah.
When Brandy was about a year old, Dorothy decided that it was time to finally test for her license.
Awesome.
She got pregnant again. And sadly, that one ended in a miscarriage.
Oh.
For the next 2 years, Dorothy lived under a cloud of depression. She didn't want to go on walks with Archie anymore. These people are so good looking that when they would go for walks around their neighborhood, just holding hands, people would stop and gawk at them.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
I don't know if people in Northridge in the 70s are that surprised to just see other people, or if it is a testament to their hotness.
That testament. Come on.
I'm going to go with
These are
testament.
LA natives.
I'm going to go to a testament to their hotness.
Yeah.
But
They must have been a very stunning couple.
they stopped traffic quite literally.
Wow.
And now Dorothy doesn't want to go on walks anymore.
Aw.
I'm like, but that's kind of y'all jam. You just walk around looking hot.
That's a great life.
Like they do. They just seem to just walk around the city hand in hand, heads touching, like a photograph. That just seems to be their shit.
Yeah.
Walking around and being pretty. And when he offered to go for a drive instead, Dorothy would turn Archie down. She was afraid of freeways.
Okay.
Which is fair but stupid all at the same time.
Right.
I'm like, you get used to them.
Yeah. Get less scared.
So I think suffice it to say, Dorothy and Archie start to drift apart. Dorothy consumed with her grief behind the miscarriage and motherhood, while Archie entertained himself by making friends. New city, new town, he made friends. He joined a bowling league.
Good for him.
Archie is fine and wholesome as fuck, which cracks me up to no
Right.
end. I'm like, you know,
Bowling league.
they make a lot of hay about how good looking Archie is. Tall, blonde haired, blue eyed, lantern jaw.
Yeah.
You know, the shoulders are shouldering, the chest is chesting, the face card will never decline.
Yes.
So I'm just imagining, it's like, how are you that good looking and this wholesome? Well, my wife's going through a hard time. I guess I'll Make some friends at a bowling league.
Right?
It's like, God damn it, Archie.
That is healthy.
In 1977, Dorothy got pregnant again. I'm not sure what happened, but this new baby snapped Dorothy out of her depression. I don't know if it's the hormones, like maybe the miscarriage left her body off, her body killed her off of chemistry wise. And that's why you should eat your placenta.
No, stop.
I have more than a few friends
Stop.
that swear that taking the placenta keeps you from having like postpartum depression and shit like that. So you don't eat it like yourself. You're not a cat. You don't like take it and like put it in your mouth and like chew it.
But even it's still weird to like freeze dry it or whatever.
Yeah, and they make it into pills. Yeah, they make it into pills some old kind of way.
You get a burp placenta.
Yeah, yeah. But your hormones will be together. And you won't have the mood swings or the weight gains and the things that make postpartum icky. And if you're prone to the depression part of it, it seems to help people with that too.
Interesting.
So I get, look, eat your placenta, it's yours, they gonna hurt nothing. It's been in you the whole time.
True.
Just putting your stuff back.
Yeah, but
I can't call it. More than a few people swear by it, so I'm just like, hey,
I don't doubt it.
Eat your placenta. It's good enough for the cats. Anyway. But yeah, this new baby snapped Dorothy right out of that depression. I think it's putting the hormones or whatever back to rights.
Yeah.
Probably. And she's back to wearing cute stuff.
Yay.
Styling herself again. And most importantly, she's ready to prep for her cosmetology license.
Yay, good for her.
A month before giving birth to her son, Michael, Dorothy passed her exam on the first try. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka!
Yay! Good for you.
And then she barely slowed down after Michael was born. She got a job in a salon while he was still an infant. In 1978, Dorothy gave birth to her second son, Tony. And by the time Tony came along, Dorothy had developed a fantastic client list.
Nice.
And had her eyes on opening a shop of her own. Dorothy put together a business plan. She got a loan from the bank. And by the time Tony was a year old, she had opened Chic.
Nice.
In Encino.
Nice.
And she was a success almost from the word go.
Nice.
She filled a niche that Encino didn't seem to know that they had. She was a high-end salon that didn't require a trip into LA proper. Around this time, Encino doesn't, or the San Fernando Valley in general, doesn't really have a lot of high-end salons. So she's definitely filling a niche for people that want a $300 haircut and a $200 manicure, but don't always want to drive into Hollywood or Beverly Hills to go get it. Yeah. Because the kind of people that pay that money aren't going to go to the supercuts. They're going to go and say, insert fancy salon here. So she filled that gap for people that are willing to pay for high-end salon services, but don't always want to drive to town. Yeah. But as Dorothy's success at the salon grew, she became more and more restless in her marriage. Archie is excited for her success. He is her cheerleader. Yeah. His fine ass is, out there oiled and topless. Go, Dorothy, go. Yeah. Dot, she's the girl I got. He is here for all of it. He does not begrudge her success. He's very, very happy. Partner. He's very happy and he is very proud. But he also longed for a wife who was no longer interested in spending time with him. He's longing for her. He wants to be around her. Yeah. She don't want to hang out with him.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
They've drifted apart. He still wants it.
Yeah.
She's the one that's like, meh.
Yeah. Over it.
In mid-1979, Archie sat down with Dorothy and asked her where she thought the relationship was going. Dorothy cried softly as she told her husband of 11 years that she was no longer in love with him.
Oh, well, good for her for being honest.
Bittersweet, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell somebody that you don't want to be with them, especially when it's somebody that you still care for.
Yeah.
She cares for him. She doesn't want him to come to any harm.
Yeah.
She will always love him as the father of her children. She's just no longer has those romantic feelings for him. And I think her depression caused them to really drift too far apart.
Yeah.
I don't think either one, like a lot of people, neither one of them was equipped to deal with a 2-year,
Yeah.
mental health episode. It's the 70s, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
People are
Get a hold of yourself,
woman. People are barely equipped to deal with that now, and we know what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
They were even less equipped to deal with it in the 70s.
So true.
They spent the rest of that night talking about their marriage and concluded that mutually that it was just time to end things.
Yeah.
She was never going to want him in the same way anymore. She loves him enough to let him go pursue somebody that could give him the type of relationship
they should both be fulfilled.
that he wants. He wishes it was her, but it's clear that it's time to move on.
Yeah.
He's happy for her success, and they're committed to parenting their children.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what Archie wants, but he is not in the business of keeping people that don't want to be kept.
Yeah.
And so they decided it was best for them to split. They created a parenting plan.
Nice. This is all very maturely done.
And
I
by
approve.
the end of 1979, Archie was out of the family home.
Mm.
Again, very bittersweet. Dorothy said that she always cared about Archie.
Yeah.
She always cared about him, and probably to this very day, cared about him, loves him deeply, but mostly is the father of her children.
Yeah, sometimes you just outgrow people.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fit doesn't stay fit.
No. It's unfortunate because they sounded like a lovely couple.
Yeah.
Dorothy jumped back into the dating pool a few months after her divorce. I think it was easier for her to go back into dating. And Archie does eventually remarry and stuff, but she had mourned that marriage.
Yeah, she was more over it.
Yeah, more over it than he is. So it might have been shocking to some people that she seemed to jump into the dating scene so quick, but I think she had mourned that loss already. And she, through her job as a salon owner, she meets plenty of well-off, successful men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are these guys coming in for their $300 haircuts.
Yeah.
Their $200 manicures. But Dorothy found them all boring and predictable.
Yeah.
Bland even. And let's be real. If she wanted beautiful and boring, she could have stayed with Archie's fine ass.
True. She is a woman of discerning taste.
No, Dorothy wants a man who's interesting. Intriguing.
Good for her.
Exciting.
Yes.
As well as attractive. I mean, her last husband was fine, so we really shouldn't. We don't gotta drop that part.
He's a man of mystery.
She wants James Bond, which is probably how she's gonna get herself into this kerfuffle. Because she wants.
Yes, she does.
She wants that fantasy. She wants. Yes, that's what she wants. All of these dudes that tried to take her out for dinner and a movie, and then expecting some sex in return, bored Dorothy to fucking tears. Yeah. And she was starting to wonder if she would ever meet a man that would sweep her off her feet and excite her the way Archie once had.
Yes.
It might just even be the dew of, youth.
Yeah.
Faded. In real life is kind of bullshit.
Is it really love, or was it just your, teenage hormones?
Right, and 11 years later, you're like, adulting is some bullshit. I don't like this anymore.
Make it uncomplicated again.
Enter David Miller.
Mm.
Dorothy was sitting at her desk, reviewing some paperwork. She sits her office desk. She's the owner, but she is also kind of like a receptionist. She'll
Yeah.
sit at the front, do her paperwork, answer the phones,
Yeah.
kind of supervise from the front, type of a thing. So she's reviewing paperwork at her desk when she heard a commotion on the other side of the salon. Oh, whatever could it be? All the stylists and the clients were looking out the window and chirping about the big black stretch limo
Oh my god.
sitting in front of the salon. It is 1979, girl. Set the scene. Everybody's wearing neon.
Yes.
The earrings are huge and
Yeah.
triangular.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody's wearing like a 2-inch pump.
Yeah. Yes. Everyone, men and women alike.
Yes. It's that Gordon Gecko. It's
Mhm.
just around the corner. It's happens. Pat Benatar.
Yes.
The leg warmers. Big vinyl belts.
Mm.
It's all happening.
Yes.
And now there's a big stretch black limo in front of them.
Yes.
The chauffeur opens the door, and a 30-something-year-old David Miller exits the limo,
Yes.
buttons the jacket on his double-breasted, shiny shark-skin suit,
Yes.
just because he seems like the type.
Right? He does.
Brooks Brothers shoes.
Yeah.
Same haircut he's had since he was 8 years old, but
Yeah.
now he just pays a lot of money for it.
Yes.
And then he enters the salon. He walked over to Dorothy at reception, looked at her, smiled, and said, "Hey, beautiful."
Oh, God. Okay.
In later interviews, Dorothy would say that David wasn't the most handsome man.
Mm-hmm.
She's had hotter. She's had Archie.
Yes.
But there was something about him and those cold, black, dead shark eyes
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that just got to her.
Weird.
She was intrigued. Why are the eyes lifeless?
I know.
How
The abyss. The abyss.
he is walking and breathing, yet there is no light behind his eyes. I must learn more.
Unnatural.
What is this necromancy?
Yes. Right.
It's the only thing I can think of that it was. Because she was just like, ooh, yes.
That is strange.
David told Dorothy that he hoped that she could make space for him to have a manicure. So he wanted a silk wrap.
Okay.
Very fancy.
Yes.
You know, just not quite acrylics. That's a bit much.
But he is so like the leading edge of like the Patrick Bateman thing.
Yes. Yes.
He is the leading edge of this.
He will sit there and tell you about how his business card is egg crude
Oh my god.
and how egg white is the fucked up game.
Yes.
Like, that's that. Dorothy couldn't help but cut her eyes at David and wondered who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell her, let Dorothy tell it. David oozes confidence, charisma. Yes. She's curious. Dorothy wants to know more. When he finished his manicure, David came back over to the reception area to thank Dorothy for getting him in quickly for his manicure without an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy pulled out her appointment book. Oh my. Very coquettish. She's trying to keep her cool.
Yeah.
He makes her nervous. She's shaking.
Mm.
She ain't felt like this in years. Not since she was a girl.
Chemistry. Chemistry.
And so she pulls out her book and she asks David if he would like another appointment. Their eyes locked for what seemed like an eternity.
Okay.
Before David asked Dorothy, "Are you here, David?"
Mm.
Dorothy told him that, well, I'm here most days. You see, I'm the owner of the salon. And I'm here, to take care of the business and supervise. Sometimes I even see clients myself.
I am a woman of property, you see.
And needs, yes.
Yes.
The flirting continued in a very scene from Moonlighting sort of way.
Nice.
There's going to be a lot of 80s references in this because I just think everything they do is from a sitcom from 1985.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
It feels like it should be.
Yeah.
David's such a fucking liar. He's probably pulling half of this shit from
Oh my god,
the
right.
CBS NBC lineup anyway.
For inspiration, yes.
Right? So David tells Dorothy that she has beautiful eyes before making another appointment, and David gets in his limo to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Even after they parted ways, Dorothy and David couldn't stop thinking about each other.
Okay.
This is the bodice ripping part of the story.
Oh god.
No one had ever given Dorothy the thunderbolt like that since Archie.
Oh my god.
Not since
Precious.
Archie.
The thunderbolt.
Thunder.
Thunder. You've been thunderstruck.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite songs.
So, she was, yes, Bruce, this is all ridiculous, I know. Don't know if you guys could hear his little squeakies.
He demanded a pet. He's like, pet me. You can work your mouth, you can work your hand, woman. Pet me.
It is a lot of that around here sometimes. So Dorothy is praying that she can see David again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for his part, David couldn't believe that when his friend told him about Seshi,
Yes.
that he neglected to tell him that the owner of the salon was a stone cold fox.
True.
So when he first laid eyes on Dorothy sitting at the desk through the window,
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy made him nervous.
Oh.
She's too beautiful, she's too gorgeous, oh my god, I can't go in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he sat in the limousine for a good 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
You know, he was
That's ridiculous.
trying to compose himself.
Yeah.
She made his hands clammy. She made him wet all up in his legs between his butt.
Made his teeth sweat.
Yes. Also, he wanted to make an entrance. L'entrance. He's already got an audience of
True.
stylists and their clients gawking at the window.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh.
He may as well take advantage of the moment and make an entrance.
Yeah. Yes.
And when he looked into Dorothy's gorgeous green eyes, it was like he'd been struck with Cupid's arrow.
Uh-huh.
Right in the tushy of love.
Oh my god.
In the tush.
Love at first sight.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
And as David thought about the possibility of getting to know Dorothy better, he decided that since she's a business owner, he doesn't have to worry about her becoming a gold digger like most of the women that he sleeps with.
Fair. I can see the logic.
But there's something different about Dorothy. He didn't just want to fuck her.
Mm.
He wanted to get to know her.
Wow.
Thoughts, feelings, dreams, aspirations.
Empathy.
Give
Oh my
them to
God.
me. I want to know about them.
That is incredible.
Yeah. He wanted to actually have a conversation with her. But as impressed as he was with Dorothy, and as much as he wanted to get to know her, he didn't want Dorothy to be part of his real life, which is the lobbying bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Even though they would eventually marry, David would never tell Dorothy what he did for a living.
Like at all?
Oh, we'll get there.
He had to tell her something.
He doesn't want her to be part of his real life, which is the lobbying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he also doesn't want to stop sleeping with all these randos
Yeah.
that he fucks.
Gross.
And he's never going to tell his political friends about Dorothy. Because he needs to be able to fuck who he wants at political events.
Yeah.
And start a relationship with Dorothy. So David's like, no, I'm going to have to dig deep into my bag of tricks
Yes.
to devise something Dorothy would believe, but still allow him to keep his single man facade.
Gross. Ugh. Trash.
Oh,
Just
so
trash.
David kept his manicure appointment the following week, and when the appointment was done, he asked Dorothy out. And he went all out to get and keep Dorothy's attention. Even though David believed most women, if not all, were gold diggers, he's almost compelled to impress women, and Dorothy most specifically, with his money. Which is so weird. It's like, fuck you, you're a gold digger, but you lead with money.
I know. It's just projection.
Well, and I've heard versions of this argument from some of my MGTOW buddies.
Yeah.
Men going their own way.
Bless them.
Which, sure.
It's like, go on.
I guess.
Yeah.
You were going there anyway. Didn't
Have
know
fun.
anybody was going to stop you from going your own way. But,
Right?
you know, there you are. And they have these crazy things about gold diggers, being careful of gold diggers and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if you're so worried about it, why do you lead with your money? Why
Right.
do you lead with finances? If you're so worried about women only liking you for resources, why is it when you go to a bar or when you meet a woman, the first thing you talk about is that you own a business, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do that. You make this much money. You buy this kind of car. Go to these types of restaurants, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
You're leading with money. Stop it.
Yeah.
Get some help.
Yes.
Quit leading with money, and then you don't have to worry about gold diggers.
True.
Oh, wait, but then you'd have to,
Have a personality.
really work at it.
Yeah.
Make yourself stand out. But yeah, he's compelled to just take her out. All the fancy dinners in LA, Beverly Hills, and beyond. Dorothy felt she had arrived.
Yeah.
This is it. It's like Pretty Woman's not even out yet, but this is Pretty Woman without the hookers.
Yeah.
As far as how she's, being wined and dined and presented and just showered with gifts.
Yeah.
She's 31. She's got a successful business. She makes enough money to support herself and her children and still save for their future and take them on nice vacations from time to time. I'm sure Artie does his fair share with child support and the like, which is fine, but even if he didn't give that to her, she can support herself and her children.
Yes.
With her business. And now she has this fascinating, wealthy man on her arm. Oh my God, can a girl from rural southern Pennsylvania ask for anything more?
Apparently not. Bless.
She has arrived.
Yeah.
She is feeling it.
Aww.
This is like her Etta James moment.
At
last, my love is coming along. Yes, it's that. It is that.
Go at it.
In her hometown, this is the kind of thing you only see in the movies, man.
True.
So when Dorothy asked David what he did for a living, he said he was an entrepreneur, but he didn't offer any other details.
That is very vague. I never accept that answer.
No, because that can mean anything.
Yeah, truly.
I mean, once upon a time, I knew a drug dealer that would tell you that he was a freelance pharmaceutical salesman.
Right.
I was accurate. Eerily accurate.
Yes.
But that was his cover.
Totally bullshit.
Right, it was bullshit, but accurate at the same time. Because if you didn't pay attention, he's like, so what do you do? I'm in freelance pharmaceutical sales.
You're right.
You would just be like, oh, interesting. Big pharma. Okay.
Right.
Sure.
How's business? Yeah.
Always good.
True.
Not that it mattered. the details don't matter because Dorothy is obsessed.
He got her.
Oh,
He told her every lie she wanted to hear.
lies fall from his mouth like pieces of fruit, and
Yeah.
she's there to just eat them all up.
Poor Dorothy. I feel for her. What do you do when someone just lies and lies and lies?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have never met a creature like this
I
before.
know that we know of.
True story. I'd like to think I'm one of those people that is like, you're weird. I gotta go.
I know. You'd like to think that you would sense it, just like you would with like a serial killer or like any like fucking weirdo. But sometimes they just kind of slither in and then out of your life.
Yep, this is true. When Dorothy pressed for details about what David's business was after a long romantic evening, David told Dorothy that he oversaw lawyers who helped people gain access to information.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
Girl, did not skip a beat.
That is so weirdly vague and specific at the same time.
And Dorothy was like, I guess it's interesting that you can
That's a business? Okay.
make a living doing whatever the fuck you just said.
Yeah.
Because I understand what those words mean, but I don't know how they relate together.
Right? or what that produces.
But I guess you can make money doing that. You just took me to insert fancy Beverly Hills place here. I guess it's fine. For months, David is working to sweep Dorothy off her feet. I mean, not even sweep with a broom, like with a Hoover. Ooh.
Yeah.
Off of her feet. When they had been dating for about a year, David suggested that they move in together. Dorothy may have been head over heels madly in love, but she is still a good Christian girl.
Yes.
And living together is a sin.
Yes.
Not only that, but Dorothy felt that living together was a surefire way to ruin the relationship. It feels so backwards to me.
I know, right? But for the time.
And so what? You're going to live with them before you're married, so you're going to find out about the 101 things that you may not want to live with before you make the commitment and it's too late.
Exactly.
That feels counterintuitive.
It's that or be a hussy.
But Dorothy loved the idea of waking up to David every morning. And so she agreed.
Ooh.
Girl,
woman.
he already had a 3-bedroom house in Granada Hills picked out. He had the house picked out. He like first and last month deposit, everything was settled. He just needed to put her in a position where she would never say no.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seemed like the house happened overnight because he knew that he knew he had her in the bag.
Yeah.
Everything is going great for Dorothy and David. But there is one teeny hiccup.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Someone in David's political circles was the person that introduced David to Dorothy's shop. It was a recommendation from his political life.
Yeah.
That is too much social overlap. So now he has to convince Dorothy to sell her shop.
Okay.
And live on his income.
Okay.
Yeah, she does. She sells it.
No.
She sells it.
Dorothy.
She opened another shop in Reseda, but she would never know the same success that she knew with Sashik.
That's a shame.
Because I think that by the time she moves in with David, it's closer to 1980. And the gap that she used to fill has been filled by a bunch of other people. There are places, to this day, you could go someplace in Encino and find a place where you can get a super fancy $300 haircut.
Yeah.
Same in Reseda. So that gap that was there when she first came to town in the early 70s just got filled. So now she's just a middle of the road, nice salon.
Yeah.
She can't charge the same prices and stuff that she did at Kashyyyk. Now, in late fall of 1980, David was feeling stuck.
Hmm. He usually does, doesn't he?
He's in a rut.
Ah.
He's a successful lobbyist, great, but he still works in the printing industry. There's only, even in the 80s, there's only so much lobbying you could do for pens and paper.
True.
Like, sorry, guy.
Yeah.
You know, typewriters and
There's
computers
not
are
much
gonna.
scope for the imagination.
Yeah, like typewriters and computers and shit like that are gonna make certain aspects of this industry
Yeah, true.
kind of obsolete. So there's only so much he could do as a lobbyist. David needed a new challenge. So he quit his job and started his own lobbying firm.
Oh, wow. That is a risk.
But like any new business, getting things up and running takes time. And for David, that means even more travel.
Mm-hmm.
And the more industries David took on, the more traveling he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
While David attends political events all over the country, and he cheats on Dorothy constantly
Yeah,
during these trips. Dorothy was often at home, just her and her 3 kids, and she often complained about David's trips. Like, she wants to spend time with him. I didn't move in with you for you to never be here.
Right?
But, you know, he would just pull Dorothy lovingly into his arms and tell her that he'd brought on a new client. And you know, if I don't get the client settled, then we could lose the business, darling. And whenever Dorothy thought about moving out on her own again or leaving David, she would think about her new shop.
Mm.
She wasn't pulling in the money
Yeah, that's right.
that she was at her original place. She owns a very nice middle of the road salon now.
Yeah.
She does not run, says she.
That is such a shame.
Freak out, says she. Says she. Like, yeah, she doesn't own that anymore.
Yeah.
So now she's not making the money she used to make. She isn't confident that she would be able to move back out and support herself and her 3 kids in the manner that they become accustomed to in her current iteration.
Yeah.
So she would just swallow whatever complaints she had about David, keep it pushing.
Mm.
But when then David began to worry. See, all this time away from Dorothy, it could put a damper on their relationship.
Yeah.
She could get too frustrated.
Yeah. She could stray.
You can't have that.
No one cheats on me.
Oh, he loves her.
Really?
He
is deeply broken, but still.
He really does sincerely love her as much as a creature like him is capable.
Whatever that's worth.
Yeah, well, because he doesn't want to lose her.
Yeah.
That's what, like, he's really like, no. I have to travel because I'm not going to... I gotta travel because of the lobbying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The lobbying stuff is also what allows me to cheat in peace.
Yeah.
But too much traveling is pushing Dorothy away.
Mm-hmm.
He does not want that.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to come back to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because in his weird reptilian way, he really does love her. Like, when he decides to be in LA, all he wants to do is spend time with her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All he wants to do is eat her up like soup.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
It's weird to say that.
And it's gross.
That this,
He's a horrible, horrible thing.
right, and it's weird to say that somebody like David Miller has that kind of feeling for somebody, but he does. Again, as much as he is capable
Yeah.
in his weird shit. Because he does love her, not enough to stop lying or cheating or tell her the truth about anything in his life. No, not that much. But he does love her.
Okay.
So David decided that he needed to come up with a story that would keep Dorothy from complaining about his travel once and for all.
Oh no. Brace yourself. What is it?
But he couldn't just spring a new story on her right away. No.
We've got to breadcrumb this.
Like, this needs to be a perfect plan. This is a perfect plan. It is thought out, and it is all about timing.
Okay.
So David waited until he was going to be home over the Christmas holiday. A time when Dorothy is filled with goodwill and Christmas cheer.
Okay.
Swept up in the season and having her man home for the holidays.
Yeah.
Yep.
She is pliable. She is moistened and ready.
Yes.
Time. It's manipulation station time.
Yeah, it is. Because he's planned this.
He is a professional con, so.
Like, to the minute. He has planned this. So it's late in the evening. It's like Christmas Eve or a day before Christmas Eve. And David was helping Dorothy with the dishes. Set the scene. Dorothy's wearing her good tweed pants. You know, very Meredith Baxter Bernie.
Yes.
The 80s. She's wearing her good casual slacks. Soft-soled shoes.
Yes.
A very, like, thin moccasin type thing.
Yeah.
She's got on a button-up shirt, rolled up to the elbows with French cuffs.
Yes.
A small string of tasteless but tasteful but
Yeah.
expensive pearls.
Yeah.
Daintily around her neck. Hair is big
Yes. Teased. Coiffed. It's say chic.
to perfection.
Yeah.
The eyeliner is lining. The lipsticking is lipping. The nails are nailing.
Blush is blushing.
Yes. David comes in. He's just taken off his suit jacket, loosened his tie, unbuttoned those top few buttons in his suit. He comes up behind Dorothy, wraps his arms around her teeny tiny little waist, and told her he loved her and he didn't know what he would do without her.
Okay.
Dorothy.
The love bombing.
Oh, yeah. Dorothy turned to David and said that life without him just wasn't worth thinking about. Oh, girl, we are full 80s melodrama, girl.
Right.
It is
These are the days of our lives.
It is full VC Andrews before the murder of the incest. That is what's happening right now. The opening sequence of Flowers in the Attic is what's happening.
Yeah.
It's very tweed. It's very frilly and lacy.
Yes.
And expensive yet incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
The couple smiled at each other as they kissed deeply, enjoying the closeness of the moment. They broke their embrace, and that's when David looked deeply into Dorothy's emerald green eyes and told her, darling, I have something to tell you.
Yes.
Something that may change our relationship. Dorothy's blood ran cold because she could tell by his slow and measured tone. This is serious.
Yeah.
He has been practicing this delivery for months.
Come on, Laurence Olivier.
Dorothy's mind was racing. Is David sick? Is his business shutting down? All sorts of things were running through her head as she sat at the kitchen table trying to remain calm. Tears welled up in David's eyes, and he struggled to speak. All choked up. Then finally, David came out with it. He didn't run a law firm.
Nope.
He didn't oversee information retrieval or whatever the fuck he said to her in those first few dates. Because I can't be bothered to go back and remember that bullshit. No. It's time for David to come clean. Tell Dorothy the truth about his life and what he does.
Yeah, yes. I'm gonna come over there and strangle you in a minute. This is too much anticipation.
Well, Jeannie,
Yes.
David Miller needs you to know
Mm-hmm.
he's an operative
No.
for the CIA
I.
and not the Culinary Institute of America, because this
God.
motherfucker cannot make me a tasty treat.
That is like the bullshit, like trifecta: student government, lobbying. I'm in the CIA.
Yes.
Oh, I have no tolerance for people who say they're in the CIA.
And this is why David doesn't respect women that believe his bullshit.
Well, okay. In this instance,
He knows he's lying to you.
yeah.
And he's just waiting to see if you go for it or kick him in the balls.
Uh-huh.
If you kick him in the balls, you're worth keeping. If you stick around, he's like, fuck this bitch.
Uh-huh.
The story about his business was a lie. A cover to hide the fact that he was on dangerous, covert missions for the United States government.
Mm.
David swore he wanted to tell her sooner, but he had to get permission from his superiors, and he had been denied until this very day.
God damn it. Stop. 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 And she bought this shit?
Hook,
Man.
line, and sinker.
Man.
The lies are lying, and the dick is dicking. The love is bombing.
Yeah. Man, do you think it was like she just really wanted to believe the lie? Or was it the detail and the practice he put into it?
I think both things are true. I think that she feels legitimately that she has arrived and this is her dream guy.
Mm.
This is all the excitement. And remember, Artie was boring.
Yeah.
So this is all the excitement and the whirlwind and the fancy that she can handle. I think she's invested in believing his crap.
Yeah. It has to be. This is tragic.
David admitted that sometimes his missions were dangerous, but he didn't want to worry Dorothy and the kids about what he had to do.
God. Self-serving prick.
Dorothy pulled David close. Now you have to imagine this all in like a very dramatic early 90s Lifetime movie of the
Yeah.
week starring Meredith Baxter Birney.
Yeah. No, I think you had it with David and Maddie. This is very moonlighting.
Okay, so Meredith Baxter Birney in Moonlighting.
Yay!
Because that's how I imagine
Yes.
Dorothy. So she pulls David close to her and hugged him tight, saying, "It's not your fault, darling. I forgive your lies. It's what is your fault. It was the government."
Oh, God. Lady.
It's the government that made him lie all these times. Oh, the hits keep coming, girl. We ain't done. We are not done with this melodramatic bullshit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, girl, they are both crying. They're clinging to each other in the kitchen.
Oh, my God. I feel like someone should be playing, like, some, like, pitiful, like, violin music.
Like some sad Hulk music or something.
Yes!
Going on in the background. It is all of that.
Oh, my God.
So not only has David been an agent for the CIA for the last 5 years, that's right, they have been together for 5 years at this point. But he had just been promoted to a new super secret level of the CIA. I think that's his official
The
title.
Avengers. What?
His official title is Super Secret CIA.
Oh,
agent.
my God. That's what's on the W-2s.
Secret Agent Man! Secret Agent Man! They've taken away your number and given you a name or some stupid shit like that. I can't remember how it goes. So, yeah. And now that he's a super secret agent, the missions are becoming more intense. It was so fierce that he had been permitted to tell Dorothy the truth about his job, but not the details of his work.
Oh, God.
David told Dorothy that if he was in danger, she and the kids could also be in danger.
Of course. I'm protecting you. I'm putting you in danger, and I'm protecting you.
Oh, yes. Oh, she's terrified.
Oh, poor
Because
thing.
I didn't understand, David. What do the children and I have to do with your work? Why would they come here?
That would be scary. A scary thing to hear from someone that was credible to you.
I didn't understand, darling. What's happening here?
Yeah. Okay. I feel a little sympathy.
So, David explained that the evil men that he went after on these missions sometimes would use an ancient family
Oh.
to try to neutralize an agent.
Dun dun dun.
Neutralize like he's fucking hair dye. Don't let it get too brassy. Put in the neutralizer. David explained that on his last mission, it had been a great success for him, but not so great for some overseas terrorists.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
He doesn't specify where they're from. They're just overseas. They're overseas, Jeannie.
God. I'm getting mad at these two like I do at Romeo and Juliet. It's like we've gotten to a point of stupid that I just can't stand anymore. You both suck.
Now these overseas terrorists knew where they lived, and it was time to move.
Oh, so he found a new place that he liked better.
Yeah.
And I need you just to get off my dick about my cheating trips.
Yes.
And I want to be in a different house.
Yes.
Oh, what? No, he doesn't love her.
I said as much as he can.
Yeah, he values this trophy.
Yes.
But he does not love her.
But he does see value
Let's
in her.
not cheapen the word love.
True. You're right. He values her.
She's useful to him.
For whatever reason, don't nobody know she exists?
It might be just that he likes this pretty thing. Who's so into him.
He likes that, and I think what he likes more is the challenge of living a double life.
Yeah.
It didn't have to
Adrenaline junkie definitely comes to mind.
Like, it didn't have to be Dorothy.
No.
It needed to be
someone.
It needed to be somebody, I guess, like Dorothy.
Yeah.
Somebody that was successful.
Hot.
And hot.
Yeah.
But her being successful and not, air quotes, wanting anything from him is what turned him on to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
He liked that she had her own.
Yeah.
And now how do I make this independent creature who has her own dependent on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I can play house exactly like I like.
Exactly.
Now the government's taking precautions to make sure that they would never be found again. But they do have to move. Honestly, though, David's tired of renting.
Yeah.
He does want to marry Dorothy, but he's not 100% sure she would commit to marriage if they hadn't set down roots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
They don't if they don't have a house or something, she may not do it. He had actually already found a house.
Of course.
Put down a down payment. He basically put her in a position where she had no choice but to move where he wanted to move.
Yeah.
And of course, he makes the case of buying being better than renting.
Mm-hmm.
Just let the government take care of it, sweetie. It's okay.
Yeah.
And once they have that done, then he can marry her.
Yeah.
Exactly like he wants to.
Exactly according to my plan.
It's time to move, Jeannie.
Again.
Moving.
But never knowing why. Not for real.
Well, he's in the sea. He's a super secret.
I know.
Super secret.
It's like every cliche. This man has these if it seems like a crazy story that someone made up, but it's so uncreative too at the same time. Like every trope, every cliche, my dude.
Did I mention he is a super secret CIA agent?
Secret, even from the CIA.
Yeah, because they've never known.
He is the super secretist CIA agent.
He's the most secretist. He could be on not T-Pain's show. I forget who hosts Most Expensivest. That show is hilarious.
Most Expensivest.
It's on Vice.
That sounds fun.
It's damn it, it's not T-Pain, it's TD Boy. And then that's one of his nicknames, and all of a sudden the other one flew out of my ear. But yeah, he hosts a show called Most Expensivest. And 2 Chainz.
Okay.
TD Boy, 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz does a show called Most Expensivest on Vice. And it's like Most Expensivest dog clothes.
Wow.
And he took his
hilarious.
He took his little French bulldog named Trappy.
Yeah.
Little gray little French bulldog. He's so cute. And he took him to the couture dog designer.
Of course.
See some stuff, exotic cars.
Yeah.
$80 ice cubes, that type of shit.
Yeah.
The Most Expensivest.
That is funny.
It's actually pretty funny. I like it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this, yeah. Whatever. So in January 1981, a couple of days after the holidays have happened, they've had their super secret CIA conversation.
Yes.
Right after that conversation, David fucked off to go to a cruise.
Oh, God.
The Bahamas.
You leave her behind with the kids and go on a cruise to the Bahamas. Trash.
What was some lobbyist vacation political thing? Dorothy's at home packing. David could have stayed and helped, but he decided that his time was better spent on a cruise, ho-hopping, instead of helping Dorothy pack up the house. Well, that's boring, Jeannie.
Whatever.
He won't be bored. Being in Ohio is boring enough. He can't.
Right? He's had his fill. He can stand no more.
He can't do it, girl. Dorothy cried and begged David to be careful as he left for his mission.
Yeah, be careful of STDs.
Girl.
Right?
That's what you should be worried about.
Exactly.
And yes, David cheated on the entire trip.
Of course.
I think he banged some big-titted blonde on that one. But anyway, that's how she's, described in the book. They do describe some of his little trysts. And it's always he only dates babes type shit.
Yeah.
Back in Granada Hills, Dorothy is working overtime to put this house together.
Man.
She's packed up. Her and the kids, they're moved. Everything. She wants to make it perfect for when David comes home. But she's still worried. She's worried for his safety. But he told her that the government felt confident that the threat to their lives would disappear once they moved.
How convenient. Hurry, unpack faster. Your safety depends on it.
With their safety secured, Dorothy could once again focus on home and family. Her 2 sons, Tony and Michael, had been a little older than toddlers when she met David. And so now they're 6 and 7, something like that. And they're all living together. And they had taken to calling David Daddy, even though they still spent plenty of time with Archie. They're just at that age.
Yeah.
You're a male figure.
Yeah, your daddy and your daddy.
Yeah.
We live with our daddy.
Yeah. Yes. That's just the age that they are at,
and
we are fine with it. But 9-year-old Brandy is a very different story. While David seemed to enjoy doing stuff with the boys, he was disinterested in Brandy, which is fine by her because she's pretty meh on David. And as the oldest, she is the only one that remembers what it was like when they were more of a nuclear family. And not even just a nuclear family like her mom and dad and her two brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is even talking about like when it was just the four of us.
Yeah.
Just mom and me and my brothers.
Yeah.
And then of course they have fun when they go visit their dad, but
Yeah.
she's like she liked the co-parenting.
Yeah.
She liked what they had. Ever. For her part, Dorothy hated that her daughter had a distant relationship with David.
Okay.
Dorothy often told Brandy, I'm in love with the man. You could at least be nice to him.
Oh my God. That's an effed up thing to tell your kid.
So,
To put that on them.
this is where I think Dorothy falls. And it is unfortunate and misguided, and it does more harm than good. I read a lot of Reddit's Am I the Asshole? The
Those are
answer is
fun.
yes, you probably are.
Right.
Anyway, I've noticed there is a subgenre
Mm-hmm.
of Am I the Asshole posts that are teenagers and young adults
Mm-hmm.
that have parents and step parents that want to force a familial bond.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that they alienate the fuck out of the kid.
Yeah.
And now the kid is like 25 writing, Am I the asshole? I called my stepmother a cunt muscle and told her that everything that she does in life dies. Dad married Ginny when I was 3 and my mom had just passed away.
Aw.
I'm 27 now, and every time I blah, 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 like,
Yeah.
that's what Dorothy gives me.
Yeah.
That she is really keen on Brandy and David having some version of a father-daughter relationship, and she wants to force it
Yeah.
instead of letting David and Brandy find their way to each other,
Mm-hmm.
much like the boys did.
Yeah.
Now, the boys, it could just be because they're younger,
Yeah. Probably.
but Dorothy still needs to let this relationship have space
Mhm.
to be whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because she really is making shit worse by trying to force it.
Yeah.
Those Am I the Asshole stories, I am often flabbergasted
Mm.
how many kids will say to their step parent, I really like you. I like that you make my other parent happy.
Yes.
But as much as I like you, I will never see you as more than a trusted adult.
Yeah.
You will never be my mother. You will never be my father, but you will always be a trusted adult.
Mm-hmm.
And that step parent is like, no, I'm your parent.
Embarrassing. Cringy.
It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Take it. Take it. That's what they're willing to give you. There's a boundary. Sorry.
Like,
Live with it.
like sometimes trusted adult is best.
Yeah. It's what you get. Take it.
Let the parents do that.
Exactly.
Anyway. Now, at the end of the day, like I said, Brandy would tell her mom, like, look, I'm cordial, I'm good, but he's not my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Never will be.
Yeah.
Don't want him to be. The best I can give you is cordial.
Yeah.
So back off.
Take it.
I'm telling you, if this was 2006, not 1986, Brandy would be like, am I the asshole?
Yeah. True.
And the comments would say, no, Brandy, you are not the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But Dorothy would not back off of trying to force that bond.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
I think she makes everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy was confused by Brandy's reaction to David. But she hoped that Brandy would learn to love him as she matured.
That's a nice thing to hope.
That sounds like a ridiculous thing to hope.
As long as you're not forcing it, like, I hope you, like, grow to, like, love him. That's all you can do, is just hope.
Like she has already told you what her boundary is. Maybe she'll soften a little bit, but it's never going to be what Dorothy wants it to be.
Yeah.
Brandy's made herself abundantly clear. at 9,
Mm-hmm.
where she wants that to go. Dorothy needed Brandy to accept David because they were on the cusp of getting married.
Yes.
And as a modern woman, Dorothy doesn't need to marry David. She just felt that, she'd already been through one painful divorce and she didn't want to repeat that. But god damn it, if the idea of being Mrs. David Miller made her heart smile.
Okay. Whatever floats your boat, lady. Good for you.
It's just amazing that she's like, no, I am a thoroughly modern woman. I don't need to do this. Divorce was shitty. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
We could just live together forever. I'll raise my kids. We can co-parent. We can sign a palimony agreement, a co-parenting agreement, a partnership agreement.
Yeah.
We could do things to protect ourselves. I don't have to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
But Mrs. David Miller. Oh God, such a rig.
Oh my God. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart, Dorothy.
Now, David's away on his latest mission. He's gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He takes off, on average, he takes off for about 8 to 10 days at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have trips that last for months.
Oh my God. Bum. What a bum.
But usually he's gone about 8 to
Yeah.
10 days. And then there are short missions where he's only gone like 1 or 2 days and he gets back home.
Still, he's a bum.
And Dorothy was just happy that she had created a wonderful home for David to welcome him into. It's very Donna Reed. You got to imagine she's wearing a full skirt.
Oh my God.
It's Christian Dior's new look, but it's also the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's made out of some sort of poly cotton. Buttons up the front, skinny belt,
Yeah.
and like a 2.5-inch pump.
Yes.
Round toe.
Ooh.
Because she's at home.
Yeah.
The stilettos are for going out.
Yes. True.
By July 1984, David had decided that it was time to marry Dorothy. After all, he loved her and the kids, mostly the boys, but whatever.
Yeah.
And he knew that he made them all happy, except for Brandy, but that's fine.
Yeah.
He thought about how much happier Dorothy and her kids would be once they were married and he could adopt those kids for good.
Mm.
Archie is a very active father.
Yes.
He is not just going to let David swoop in and take his children.
No.
He is not going to give up his parental rights.
No.
I don't know what kind of psychotic cloud David is living on.
Right? But he has been on that cloud his whole life.
Because he really believes that he'll be able to marry Dorothy and adopt those children, and Archie won't say boo about it.
Or he's just ignorant about what that means.
Yeah, I think
He might think that means I'm officially co-dad.
much like Dorothy eschews her better judgment because she likes the sound of being Mrs. David Miller,
Mm-hmm.
he's misunderstanding adoption
Yes.
because he likes the idea of being a father.
Yeah.
For Dorothy, it was a dream come true. For David, proposing to Dorothy was a way to add to the challenge of the double life.
True. Just leveled up.
I mean, yes, he loves her in his way, but he loves the challenge of keeping all of this a secret even more. David would propose to Dorothy at a fancy restaurant over a beautiful meal, of course. And after
Decent.
presenting her with a big fat diamond ring, it was like 3 carats or something ridiculous. Something tacky.
Yeah.
Something with a halo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after he gives her that fat diamond, they started planning their wedding in Viva Las Vegas.
Oh, classy.
Well, this was more practical.
True. And they've been living in sin together for a while.
That and Dorothy already had her big wedding.
Yeah.
her and Archie had the great big traditional wedding.
And I'm guessing he can't have her meet his family and
Oh,
colleagues.
no.
And we can't have any cross-pollination
No, he can't.
of the social circles.
Outside, I'm skipping ahead a teeny bit, but outside of their immediate neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
she does not know any of David's friends.
That's so weird.
She has never met a colleague. She has never met a relative. She has never met anyone in his life.
Yeah, between her and his family, it's so weird that he's like surrounded by people who have no curiosity about his connections.
I can't call it, girl. The only thing that makes sense is, at least in his political life, he circulates himself so much and so hard that nobody has time to question. Because he's just always there.
Yeah.
And if somebody's around you that much, you do start to assume that they know what you know and that you know the same things. Or, like, you know, like the vital stats.
Yeah.
His name is David Miller. He's from so-and-so. He went to such and such school.
Yeah.
There's no reason to question any of that. Not with a friend.
Yeah.
When David and Dorothy came home to tell the kids about their plans for the big wedding,
Yeah.
we're so happy. The boys were confused because they're littles and they're like, but aren't you already married? He's my
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
That goes to show how young her kids are when she met him.
Exactly. Like, what's the big
Brandy,
deal?
yeah. Not happy.
Aw, poor Brandy. Sorry, Brandy.
She just stormed out and went to her bedroom.
Aw.
Now, Brandy at this point, when they get engaged, Brandy is 13. So they chalk her running out of the room up to teenage hormones.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep it pushing. But David is very bothered by Brandy's lack of acceptance. And he vowed to make her come around come hell or high water.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Then they started making plans to get married in Vegas in August of 1985.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah. They're happy.
Oh, we gonna get there, girl. We can get there. So we're gonna let David and Dorothy go be married for a hot minute
Okay.
and talk about David and Brandy.
Okay. Ooh.
So about a week later, Dorothy and Davis, after they got engaged, and within a week, they had planned a trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
They're getting married.
This is moving fast.
It was a marriage honeymoon combo, as people who want to do in Las Vegas.
That's true.
The night her mother got married, Brandy cried until her eyes were swollen shut.
Oh my goodness. Poor
And
kid.
she made a point to muffle the sounds of her sobbing because the last thing she wanted was for the babysitter to know that she was upset and crying. And then the babysitter would tell her mom, and then her mom would tell David, and then she would get in trouble for ruining their trip.
Yeah. Aw, poor kid.
Brandy had been trying for months to get her mother to see that David wasn't the nice guy he pretended to be. Brandy tried to get her mother to see that how David treats her awful. But nothing works.
Yeah.
Nothing works. They're getting married, and Brandy is just stuck with David for the rest of her fucking life right now. When Dorothy first started dating David, Brandy was okay. I think she was like 6 when they first get together.
Okay.
So she probably doesn't really understand, but also understands that her parents are together in that moms are allowed to date.
Yes.
You would at least understand that.
Yeah.
David treated Brandy nicely like he did with the boys. But even back then, something about David wasn't right.
Hmm.
Brandy would say in later interviews the man was plastic.
Ooh. Yeah.
And that everything he said was a lie.
Yeah.
Brandy could see it. She doesn't understand why other people don't.
Mm.
She's like, he's a snake oil salesman. He's a flim flam
Yeah.
man. He is a con artist. Why does nobody else see this with me?
He is a fake.
The first time Brandy told Dorothy that she didn't like David, she was 7.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy did not take the news well. Dorothy told Brandy, it's evident that you don't like David. And angrily demanded to know what's wrong with him. Why don't you like him?
Oh my God.
And how could you not like him? He buys you clothes. He keeps you fed, keeps you housed. He's kind to your brothers. And most importantly of all, I happen to be in love with him, Brandy.
What about me?
But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy is 7 years old.
Right?
She is not equipped to articulate what is wrong with David.
Yeah.
She feels it.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong.
Yeah.
But a 7-year-old cannot articulate that.
No. Aww.
I'm sure she tried, but really all that would come out is, I just don't like him. I don't know. Like,
and it's ridiculous of her mother to demand that from a 7-year-old.
but that's what I said, like,
It's
Dorothy
weird.
is one of those parents that is trying to force
Yeah. And that's
a
weird.
thing.
Yeah. That's not normal.
Oh, I never said it was. I'm telling you, they would end up in am I the asshole threat
Yeah.
if this was happening right now instead of in the 80s.
Yeah.
Fucking Brandy be writing in, am I the asshole? Or maybe Dorothy would be writing in, am I the asshole? And the answer would be yes.
Yes.
The most that Brandy could ever muster to explain what she didn't like about David is that he seemed phony.
Mm.
It's the best she could do.
Yeah.
She's 7.
Yeah. Very perceptive young woman.
Dorothy told her daughter that the minute you start liking David is the minute you'll be a much happier person.
That is vile.
You'll be a happier person. You have to imagine all of this happening while Dorothy's wearing her good casual slacks,
Yeah.
her soft sole shoes, and her buttoned-up shirt with the French cuffs that are rolled up to her elbow with delicate gold bracelets and a pearl necklace. You have to imagine this
Yes.
in that outfit.
Meredith Baxter Bird.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is very that. It's Mallory from Family Ties. It is all of it.
Yeah.
That's why this is happening. And Brandy's wearing neon pink and purple, and
Yes.
everything is triangular. After that incident, Brandy's like, all right, I'm not talking about this with you no more.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate.
This is a conversation to nowhere. Brandy could see that David had swept her mother completely off her feet with the fancy nights out, the constant compliments, doting on her. And Brandy said in later interviews all of that had made her mother stupid.
I mean, clearly.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Her mother is a very intelligent and capable woman in every other aspect of her life. Except for David Miller.
Yeah. In this
Something
case, she's stupid.
about that man makes this woman dumb.
We've all been there.
The longer David was in the home, the more Brandy disliked him.
Mm.
She didn't have any real altercations with David until she was 9.
Oh, shit.
Brandy had worn a new outfit to school, and she put its hair in her pants during recess because she's 9.
Yeah.
She's still at that hole in your knee kind of age.
Yeah.
Just patch it up and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
David noticed the tear as soon as Brandy walked in the house and demanded an explanation.
God.
Brandy just looked at him and shrugged and was like, I ripped.
Yeah. I fell down, idiot.
And then she went to walk to her room.
Mm-hmm.
That's when David jumped up, grabbed her by the shoulders, and spun her around and just bellowed in her face. Listen, young lady, when I ask you a question, you answer me.
Big man.
And Brandy's like, I ripped my pants at recess. I fell. They ripped.
Mm-hmm.
We good? Go into my room. David lets her start to walk away. Then he leaps across the room at her,
Oh my god.
grabs her by the shoulders, got in her face again, nose to nose, stank breath at her. I just imagine his breath stinks. Anybody that does shit like this has got bad breath. I just know it
Yes.
in my heart.
Safe call.
Bad breath. And he got in her face, nose to nose, screaming at a 9-year-old.
Big man.
I may not be your father, but as long as you're living under the same roof as me, you better respect me.
Mm-hmm.
Where? At no point has she been out of pocket.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she can't be. She's 9. Of course she can be. But in this moment, right here, right now, this is a gross overreaction.
Yeah.
This kid has not been out of pocket.
Yeah.
At all.
Is mom watching this the whole time?
No.
Okay.
It was the first time that Brandy was afraid of David.
Mm.
And in later interviews as an adult, Brandy would wonder if David was mean to her because he was afraid of her. Brandy's the only person that doesn't fall for the bullshit.
That's true.
And David literally makes a living lying and charming people.
Yep.
But he can't get past a fucking 9-year-old?
Yeah. It must be very frustrating.
Also, what if someone believes Brandy?
True.
What if, when he's on a trip, she catches her mom at just the right time and drops the right kind of bug in her ear? As she gets older, she's only going to get more articulate. It's usually how language skills work.
True.
What if there's a day when he's not around where she's able to drop the right kind of bug in her mom's ear and her mom starts asking questions?
Yeah.
He doesn't want that.
No, God, no.
So Brandy really is the only person that could ruin his double life. And I think that terrifies him. To be undone?
Yeah.
To be unmasked? Remember, he thinks of himself as a good person.
Oh, of course.
He is a good person who just happens to be so incredibly indecisive that he's forced to live a double life.
Yeah.
Forced.
Against his will.
So Brandy would get away from David and basically tell him to stay away from her. But as Brandy tried to leave, David's on her again. He's this time yanking her arm, calling her a spoiled brat, telling her that she's ugly and disgusting before shoving her down to her knees.
Ew.
Just shoving her down.
Yeah.
Just to make her kneel in front of him.
I do not like the direction this is going.
I will tell you that, without skipping ahead too much, some fucked up shit's gonna happen, but not that.
Okay.
David is a lot of horrible fucked up things. But at no point is it insinuated that he interfered with her sexually.
Okay.
She doesn't say it, nobody else says it. He's an asshole to her, for sure. He's an asshole, he's abusive, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's not that.
Okay.
The bar is
good.
so low.
It really is.
No, the shoving her down to the knees was more of a power play. I'm in charge, you get on your knees.
Well, I mean, that's also what that kind of abuse comes to, is a power play.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying it lives in the universe the way he's treating her.
Yeah. It just doesn't, that doesn't happen. Brandy cried herself to sleep that night.
Yeah, that is scary.
And she made plans to tell her mother about what happened as soon as she saw it.
Oh.
But before Brandy could say anything to her mom, Dorothy came barging into Brandy's room saying, "David told me what happened, Brandy. That you had been rude to him." Brandy's like, whoa, I wasn't rude to nobody.
Yeah.
He's the one that's yelling at me, pawing at me, shoving me down to my knees. Dorothy wouldn't hear it.
Mm.
And instead of yelling at her, Dorothy sat Brandy down on the bed, grabbed her by the hands,
Mm-hmm.
with all of the motherly love that
Yes.
she could muster, and said, quote, David loves us all. He's made my life wonderful ever since I met him. And all I'm asking for you to just try to get along with him, Brandy. Just try.
Oh, poor kid.
Brandy tried to explain her side of the story, but Dorothy shut her down, saying that David had the right to discipline her if she's rude to him.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy is furious, but she is not shocked that her mother believed David over her.
Yeah.
And the way Brandy saw it, David had told her mother what happened, and her mother must have thought that David grabbing her and shoving her onto the floor was somehow justified.
Yeah.
She is only, at this point, she's only 9.
Mm-hmm.
So she cannot fathom that an adult would lie on her.
Yeah, true.
So in her 9-year-old brain, her mother being upset with her means that David was somehow justified in his action.
Yeah.
And Brandy somehow did something wrong. She can't figure out what she could have done wrong.
Yeah.
But if her mother is co-signing on her being punished, somehow she must be wrong.
Yeah.
Because adults don't lie on kids.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Some adults
all
are trash.
the time.
But Brandy, God bless her, she is a baby. She
Yeah.
does not live in a world where adults are anything but to be trusted.
Yeah.
The only adult she would probably be afraid of is like a creepy guy in a van offering her a puppy.
Yeah.
She might stay away from that. She's
Yes.
got the good sense
Yeah.
to stay away from something obviously creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. After that, Brandy pretty much withdraws from the family.
Yeah.
She's there, but she's not.
Yeah. Don't
She
blame her.
spends most of her time in her room.
Mm.
When she's not in her room, she's out with friends. She tries to join every extracurricular,
Yeah.
every club,
Yeah.
any excuse that she has not to be in that house.
Mm.
By the time she's a teenager, between school, extracurriculars, and working, she is only at home to shit, shower, and shave.
Good for
That's
her.
it.
Yeah.
She is almost completely withdrawn from the family. And as the years went by, it seemed like David was always angry with Brandy.
Mm.
Because as she gets older, she is closer and closer to being able to properly articulate herself.
Yeah.
And I think his biggest fear is a fully empowered, fully articulate Brandy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He needs to keep that kid off.
Nightmare.
Yeah. He needs to keep that kid feeling gaslit at all times.
Yeah.
Which is what he does. By the time she was 12, Brandy and David were having clashes every few weeks.
Mm.
If he's in the house, some shit's going down.
Yeah.
But Dorothy always got David's side of the story first and dismissed Brandy's perspective out of hand because David said she was at fault.
Mm-hmm.
She never hears her daughter out.
Yeah.
Never listens to her.
Bad mom.
And anytime but I love him, Brandy. Why can't you just be nice to him?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Brandy quit trying to get her mom to help. She's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Aw.
Dorothy didn't believe her, and every time Brandy tried to tell her mother that David yelled at her or treated her poorly, David would get this like smug look of satisfaction on his face.
Yeah.
Knowing damn good and well that Dorothy didn't believe her.
Yeah. That is unfortunate.
And through all of this, Dorothy holds out hope that Brandy would come around.
God.
She just knows with time and effort, her daughter would outgrow this dislike for David,
Mhm.
and it's all just teenage drama.
Yes. The Delulu is strong. So
Girl.
strong. Yeah.
I don't think Dorothy is a bad person. I think she is a woman that was sold a bill of goods,
Mm-hmm.
And it was a fantasy that was so intoxicating that she shut off her brain and rocked with it.
Okay.
But god damn it, she should have listened to Brandy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder if she's not listening because it's only Brandy, because he's good to the kids, to the boys. So I wonder if she's seeing what a loving stepdad he is with Brandy, or with the boys. And he only has beef with Brandy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where she's coming to the calculation that Brandy is the problem.
Yeah, I could see that.
But there's another common denominator here, too.
Yeah.
Which is David. And your job as a parent is to protect the kid.
Yes.
And if the kid is saying that my stepdad is mean to me, you should at least look into it. But she never does. So by January of 1988, the investigation into Senator Alan Robbins was on the move, and David is nervous.
Good. Good. I hope he's sick to his stomach.
Now, we don't know what David was doing for Senator Robbins and the two other senators that he worked with a lot.
Nothing good.
Oh, yeah, no. But I think, you know what? David is so jumpy that he snapped at Dorothy for the very first time.
Ooh.
And he's nervous because of the money. Remember, he has three main clients. These three main clients is going on trial for various frauds and schemes.
Yeah.
So without those three clients, his firm ain't bringing in any money.
Yeah.
He has several lifestyles to support.
Yes. And no self-control whatsoever.
And no ability to make actual decisions and stick with them. So yeah, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, and when he snapped at her, Dorothy was like, what? It's unthinkable.
Yeah. Yep. It's unthinkable right up until the moment it happens.
The leopards were never supposed to eat my face.
It's right?
And when Dorothy asked David, what's wrong, darling? He blamed it on the missions. It's all about the missions. The indictments and the investigations into the senators made David decide that he needed Dorothy and the kids out of LA. The investigation meant that his two lives were too close together.
Yeah. His face might end up on the news. Yeah.
Right. So one night in mid-1988, David came home wide-eyed, disheveled, with a cut on his leg. This motherfucker went outside and probably cut his leg or something.
Probably took him a long time to get up the courage to do it, too.
Yeah, he made himself look beat up.
Yeah.
Dorothy was freaked out, but she busied herself with tending to David's wounds.
Oh, my God.
There, darling. There. I'm sorry if it hurts. Let me tend to your wounds, darling.
We finally got to this chapter of my fantasy.
Right, and remember, this is all being done in her best casual slacks, soft sole shoes, and French cuff button-up shirt.
For her CIA secret agent hubby.
Because I feel like that's what she wears all the time.
Yes.
I feel like she wears some variants on that.
Probably.
And while she's tending to his wounds, David explained that they,
yes,
I don't know who they are.
But they are tricky.
And they know where they live.
Yes.
Dorothy's heart sunk and her blood ran cold. She didn't understand what was happening. David said that they'd be safe once they moved.
Yeah.
That the government had taken extra precautions to keep them safe.
What's going on?
David reassured her that all of these things had been true. Something had happened on the last mission, and now they'd all been compromised.
The Russians are under us, honey.
Sure.
Right?
The overseas terrorists.
Yeah.
Sure.
The commies.
He won't even be that specific. He will not even be specific enough to say the communists.
Just they.
It is just they and overseas terrorists. I feel like too much specificity might make this bitch read a newspaper.
Right? Probably.
Make her think about who they really are. And that's when David told Dorothy that they had to move to Florida before the 1st of December to make sure that the family was safe.
Oh, Florida. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Dorothy was upset.
Right?
But she knew she had to trust David because it was the only way to be safe. Soon, the Miller family was on the move to Florida, where they purchased a home in Orlando right by the deadline of December 1980.
Okay.
David assured Dorothy that the government would take care of selling the Granada Hills house.
Mm.
And soon as they touched down in Florida, David was off on another mission, leaving Dorothy and the kids to pack up and move into the new house of their own. There.
Idle ass bitch.
Moving is boring, Jeannie, and
I don't
David
buy it. It's
Miller
just
cannot
effort. It's
abide
work.
being bored.
It's no bullshit. He lies about everything. I refuse to believe that. He's just lazy and entitled.
I think all things can be true.
Yeah. He's just too special to do something as tedious as that.
Nah.
He's just a bitch.
So now Dorothy and the kids, everybody's upset. Nobody's happy about this.
Yeah.
And for a brief moment, Dorothy thought about leaving David.
Wow.
But then she made friends with the neighbors across the street, so it was fine, so she decided to stay.
Mm.
Fosters.
Yeah.
No, she was on the cusp of leaving until she made a friend.
She was on the cusp of having a spine, and then she fell into fellow invertebrate.
And then she made a friend, and it was all fine.
Yes.
Meanwhile, David's latest mission took him back to L.A., where he essentially lived in the Granada Hills house and picked up his life like nothing was wrong.
Oh, God, only now I've got this big bachelor pad.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he was forced to be bi-coastal, David's mission started to last up to a month.
Mm.
Before he's gone a week, maybe 10 days.
Yeah.
And there'll be like some short missions of like 2 or 3 days, and then he's home for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
But he's always like around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Almost like his schedule is almost like a fireman, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Which is a lot harder to do when you're bi-coastal.
Yes.
I mean, so much to do traveling from Florida to LA all the time. David is getting frustrated that he didn't have as much time as he wanted for political parties and vacations.
Mm.
And that means if he's not going on any weird political jaunts,
Mm-hmm.
cruises, buffet lunches, whatever,
Yeah.
that means he ain't tapping into no strange.
He's made his own life more difficult. Who shall we
Damn
blame?
it! Damn it! I mean, what's the point of living a double life if you can't chase women
Right?
on your missions?
Life is emptiness and pain.
If I can't ho-hop while my family is in Florida,
Mm.
all this
Tragic.
traveling's cutting into my hoeing. I don't like this.
Man.
In fact, David was so busy, not just with ho-hopping, although he's plenty busy with that,
Yes.
but more like his lobbying clients. He was so busy that he brought on a partner on the condition that his new partner, a guy named Grant, bring in his own clients.
Mm-hmm.
Grant was excited to start the new job, but he was in it less than a month before he began to realize that David's company didn't bring in nearly enough clients to support David's lifestyle.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
sees the fancy furniture, the paintings, the cars, the way David lives.
Mm-hmm.
He's now a partner in this business.
Yeah.
It's not adding up.
Yeah.
But every time Grant would ask about the numbers, David would do something nutty like donate 10 grand to Cal State Northridge.
Challenge me? Challenge my lifestyle and my... Yeah.
Can a person who's struggling do this?
Yeah.
Here, $10,000 check, Cal State Northridge.
This is such a weirdly self-destructive behavior.
But would a person that's having mother troubles be able to do that?
Absolutely. That's how you get into those troubles.
Well, but that's his line of thought.
Kind of like, yeah.
His line of thought
is... I can see that. But yeah, like, yeah. If I was his accountant, I'd be like, yes, you could be in that much trouble. Yes, you could be that foolish.
Girl, he don't got an accountant.
He can't have. They'd be like, sir.
There would be too many questions.
Yeah.
Grant also found it strange that David didn't talk about his personal life. And he had no personal pictures or anything on the wall or on his desk.
Yeah.
I mean, there is still the wall.
Yeah.
The wall is still there. But the wall is all celebrities.
Yeah.
There's no pictures of a wife or girlfriend, family, mom, dad.
Yeah.
Like, even single people might have, like, a picture of, like, pets.
Yes, something.
You and your friends on vacation.
Yeah, high school, whatever.
Nieces and nephews. Like,
yeah.
It was very weird. Grant also kept catching David in small lies. And David would go to great lengths to make sure that people didn't know where he was and didn't even know it. Like, David's staff would know that he was in St. Louis, but they wouldn't know where in St. Louis. When Grant and the staff questioned the secrecy, David said that he would call in daily so nobody would have to look for him.
Yeah.
He just scheduled check-ins. That's not suspicious at all.
Right? That's not unusual behavior.
Once, when a client had an emergency, David's staff was able to figure out what hotel he was in.
Mm-hmm.
His two receptionists, they book his travel all the time. They know, like, the 3-4 hotel chains that he likes.
Yeah.
And they know the general area that he's supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So they just started calling hotel chains until they found him.
Nice.
To tell them, this client is freaking out and having an emergency. Instead of getting in touch with the client, David yelled at his staff for not waiting on his check-in call. If I wanted y'all motherfuckers to know where the fuck I'm at, I'd tell you, wait for my call. Nosy bastards.
Psycho.
Matter of fact, next time the client calls you with an emergency, you tell that half I said wait. Oh, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
He is so secretive about where he is at any given moment. He will make a client having an emergency wait and risk getting that bag versus somebody knowing where he's at.
Jeez. What a dumbass.
All of this upheaval in David's life is happening around the time of the Senator Robbins investigation.
Yeah.
He is not having a good time.
He is spiraling.
And a funny thing happened when the Robbins case came to a close.
Mm-hmm.
David's finances fell apart.
Oh.
I was not joking. Those were his 3 main clients.
Yeah.
Whatever other people he has on his roster are not enough to support him, the business, and sure as shit not the life that he's living.
No.
Still don't know what he was doing for those senators, though.
Yeah, I know. Something shady.
Oh, for sure it was shady. It just wasn't so shady
that he got sucked in by the,
Yeah. He's just like an off-brand lobbyist.
Mm-hmm.
They got the big fish,
Exactly.
Grant started overhearing conversations of David calling into banks, asking for loans, spinning stories to loan officers about deals coming in that did not exist. David is so dumb and so arrogant, he leaves his office door open.
Oh, great.
Grant has the office next door.
Yeah.
He can hear you. Fucking idiot.
Right?
David did manage to secure several loans, but it wasn't enough. Like 10 grand here, 40 grand here, that kind of thing. He even went so far to ask a businesswoman that he was dating, because of course he was, for a $30,500 loan.
That is bold.
Ask me what he told her.
What did he tell her?
his finances were being crushed by cancer treatments.
Oh, God, that is vile. Can't you help a poor, old cancer treatment survivor?
Oh, yeah.
No.
The treatments are crushing me, darling.
Oh, God.
I don't know what else to do. Now, Grant overheard that conversation, and he bought it for a while, too.
Oh, yeah?
He was like, oh, snap. It all makes sense. If he's sick, and he doesn't want anybody to know that he's sick, and he's trying to hold it all together, that makes sense. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Poor guy. What do I do?
Bless him for giving
Do
him
I say something? Do I
benefit of the
not?
doubt.
But over the next month or so, Grant would sort out that David is no cancer patient. He's too spry.
Yeah.
He's never sick.
Mm-mm.
He's not losing weight. Like, sadly, cancer is a motherfucker,
Yeah.
and most of us are all too familiar
Yeah.
with what people undergoing cancer treatment look like and what they go through.
Yes.
And David ain't that.
No.
To cancer patients, my hat's off.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
the cure is worse than the illness sometimes.
Yeah.
By June of 1990, 2 of David's payroll checks had bounced.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, bouncing checks. And when David was asked about the checks and the health of the business, David yelled at the staff to go ahead and cash the fucking check. There was a mix-up with the accounts. You got a problem with that?
Yes, I do. Huge.
Fuck. Ask me for your money.
That
What's
I
your
earned.
problem?
I earned it.
Ask me for money that I owe you for service. What's your problem? After this little blow up, and Grant's check was one of the ones that bounced.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like one receptionist, it must have beat Grant and the other receptionist to the bank or something.
Yes.
Like, or she had direct deposit and the other 2 didn't. I don't know,
Yeah.
but one receptionist.
It
and
was a
Grant's
race.
check
It was
yeah.
a race against time.
Yeah. So after this, the relationship between Grant and David was on thin ice.
Yeah, to say the least.
David kicked Grant out of the business affairs because it was none of Grant's business to know how things were running. He's supposed to be a partner
I know,
in this
right?
business.
But this business is none of your business.
No. No business is your business.
Right?
Grant worked for David a little under a year. Their arrangement was essentially that Grant would draw a salary for the first 6 months while he was on probation. After that 6 months, he would be granted a full partnership, and he would work strictly on commission, of which David would get a percentage, but Grant's on his own as far as getting clients,
Okay, yeah.
keeping them serviced, satisfied. Grant's basically running his own lobbying shop under David's masthead.
Yes. Yeah. Like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, David is happy to get a commission off of Grant. He's happy for that percentage.
Easy money.
But Grant's like, yeah, after that first year, Grant didn't need David.
Mm-hmm.
He needed, an office and a place to work out of for a while.
Yeah.
But after a year, he had developed enough relationships and shit that he didn't need David. He struck out on his own.
Good for him. Good for you, Grant.
And if you thought things are going bad with David's business, they're getting worse at home.
Oh, no.
Brandy is 17 now.
Oh, jeez.
And her clashes with David are becoming more frequent, more hostile, and violent. They fought over everything.
No doubt, yeah.
And Brandy thought David was out to ruin her life.
Probably. He probably was.
Honestly, poor girl. She's 17, but she's still sort of stuck in that mindset that adults wouldn't lie on children.
Yeah.
She's stuck there. Even though, obviously, David will. But he is It is one of the more disturbing and more successful gaslighting campaigns that I've ever seen. The way he gaslights this kid.
Yeah.
And her mother.
Yeah.
With nowhere to go and no one to talk to, Brandy started to act out by staying out late. Her curfew is 10 p.m. She's coming home at 11 midnight.
A little rebellion.
When David got home, or when Brandy got home, David accused Brandy of being a good-for-nothing whore that'll fuck anyone who will have you, and she should feel lucky that David hasn't thrown her out on the street with the other whores.
Big man. Big man.
And Dorothy's just letting her kid eat it, basically. When David was done screaming, Brandy would go to her room and write in her journal.
Yeah.
That's all she's got. In August of 1989, David was home for 8 days in between missions. On one of those days, David came home to find Brandy and Dorothy fighting about what they generally refer to as the David situation.
Yes.
He is a full-on situation.
Amen.
In her journal, Brandy said that David started slapping her around for being rude to her mom. And when Dorothy tried to stop him, David smacked Dorothy to the ground.
Wow.
That's first.
Yeah.
In September of 1989, Brandy wrote that David had kicked her ass again. And there were bruises on her arms that were so bad. She's going to have to wear long sleeves. It's September in Florida. That is sticky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brandy ended that diary entry wishing herself dead.
Oh.
October 1989. Brandy and David clashed so hard, Brandy thought David was going to kill her. In that diary entry, Brandy wrote that she was scared and that she wished that she could talk to her mom and tell her how she really felt and that she didn't want to live and that she was just scared and confused that she was dying inside.
Oh.
That she was scared that David would turn things around on her and make the situation worse.
Yeah. I mean, if past is prologue.
Yeah. That's why I said this is one of the more thorough cases of gaslighting I have ever had the misfortune to read about.
Poor kid. She must have felt so hopeless.
She did.
Yeah.
Later that same night, Brandy had a fight with her mom. David stepped in and slapped Brandy around. Back in her journal, Brandy said if David touched her again, she would kill him.
Good for you, kid.
Maybe then Mom will listen. She's desperate.
Yeah.
Brandy was so desperate that she filed 2 separate CPS complaints
Wow.
on David for child abuse. Both times, caseworkers came out and found no signs of neglect. Having exhausted all of her options, she is 17. What the fuck else is there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's desperate if a kid is like CPS.
Yes.
Help me.
Yeah.
Brandy starts formulating a plan to run away from home. Her goal? Get out of the house, head to California.
Yay.
Live with Archie.
Good plan.
Brandy had tried to talk to her mom about moving in with Archie several times.
Oh, no doubt.
Dorothy would not hear of it. She refuses to be separated from her children. Most specifically, she refuses to be separated from Brandy. She loves all of her children, but she seems to consider the mother-daughter bond so sacrosanct that it would be like a sin against God and man to separate Brandy from her. Even though Brandy is distraught and going through this fucked up shit and clearly not happy, Dorothy still believes that Brandy will grow out of this. If she could just be nice to David, this would be better. She keeps throwing that out. And it's like, it's not going to get better, lady. They hate each other.
It's not going to change.
No. So Brandy started saving up the cash from her part-time job. And because she needs a flight to LA. Back then, In February of 1990, a one-way ticket from Orlando, where they're living, to LA was about $190,
Okay.
$200,
Yeah.
something like that. Maybe $250 after tax.
Yeah.
Brandy had just under $300.
Good for her.
She had like $297.85, basically enough to take care of that $199 plus tax.
Yep.
And she booked herself a one-way ticket to Los Angeles.
Good for her.
March 1st, 1990, with $20 in her pocket. I'm telling you, she spent her bottom dollar to get that plane ticket.
Good for her.
Brandy told her mom that she would be working late. She'd be back, working late. She got a friend to take her to the airport, and within an hour, Brandy was on that plane, LA bound.
Good for her.
She is out. She is done.
Yeah.
She can't do this
She's
anymore.
making the great escape.
She's been in this situation since she was 6.
Yeah, that is a long time.
She is
to be
17.
terrorized. Yeah.
11 years of being gaslit and terrorized.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she wasn't trying to save her lawnmower money when she was 10.
Yeah.
Squirreling away allowance for shit like this. I would have been.
Yeah.
When Dorothy realized that Brandy had went away, she freaked. She honestly couldn't understand why Brandy was so unhappy that she would run away.
Wow.
She doesn't get it.
No. She doesn't want to at this point.
And there's something about David that makes her dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And living this exciting fantasy with the CIA guy, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what it is. There's something about him. Maybe the dick is that good that she just stops being curious, won't believe her daughter or her eyes or her ears, and
all she wanted after leaving Archie was a man that could excite her.
Yeah.
I mean, this is excitement. I don't know if it's the kind that you want. You gotta be real specific when you ask the universe for shit like...
Careful what you wish for.
When you gotta be specific. Yeah. You gotta ask the universe to send you something. You can't say, send me something interesting and exciting. Because you could get a David Miller. It's exciting and interesting, but it's probably not in the way you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you put these things into the universe, you should probably put some parameters on it.
Exactly.
Gotta narrow that down before the universe just is like, but that's what you asked for.
Yeah, and I will give it to you generously.
Oh, this was one of the few times that Dorothy would yell at David. Dude, Dorothy told David that this is his fault. That she may never see her daughter again. And it's because of him. And why can't you just be nice to her, David? That's all she ever says to either of them. Yeah. Why can't you be nice to each other? Lady, this is more than a matter of being nice.
I know. She's dumb.
If being nice could fix it, we would never even got here.
Yeah.
Because the relationships did start cordial.
Yeah.
If it was just about being nice, it wouldn't have escalated.
True.
So, David put his hand after this whole, why won't you be nice to her? Oh, Dorothy's crying, she's hysterical, she's red-eyed, bleeding mascara, perfectly manicured nails, beating on his chest. Why can't you be nice to her?
Yeah.
David put his hand on Dorothy's shoulder and told her lovingly, it's just as much your fault as it is mine. Brandy's just a rebellious teenager that wants things her way. You see her out there hanging around with the wrong crowd. For all we know, Brandy could be doing drugs. You see those long-haired weirdos that she hangs out with. Dorothy quit crying. Quit banging her tiny fist on his chest.
Yeah.
Looked at him dead ass and told her, get her back. David's like, all right. I'll go looking for her. He was not here to play.
Yeah.
He knew that she was not one to be fucked with at this point. If he would like to keep...
Oh shit, she's not buying my shit right now.
If he would like to keep living this devil life, hell, if he would like to keep living, he needs to go find this fucking kid. She is not playing.
Yeah.
She is in full ground glass and salad mode. She will fuck you up. He finally pushed through there.
Yep.
David would go out and look for Brandy, but only because he was afraid that Dorothy would blame him forever for her daughter's disappearance if he didn't go find the kid. And that would mean their marriage wouldn't last. And he wants this marriage to last. He wants her. He finds value in her. Yeah. Just not enough not to lie.
Yeah.
Or cheat.
Yeah. Or be a piece of shit.
Or just be decent.
Yeah.
But that's what I keep saying. In his way, he loves her. Mm. It's bizarre. Mm. It's fucked up. But it's his. David made some calls, and he was able to find Brandy at a friend's house in LA. Mm-hmm. She didn't tell Archie that she was coming.
Okay.
She was afraid that if she told her dad that she was coming to LA by herself, that he would freak out and he would call her mother.
Yeah.
And then she would just be turned right back around. Mm-hmm. And I would suspect, I do suspect it, I can't prove it with science, that Dorothy was either feeding Archie the same line of bullshit that David fed her, or she explicitly told Brandy not to tell her father about her problems with David. Mm-hmm. If you tell him, I can just see her be like, if you tell Archie, you're just going to make it worse, and I don't want any drama with your father. Mm-hmm. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So leave David out of it, just go have fun.
Yeah.
I can see some variant of that being why Archie doesn't know what's going on. So, David finds Brandy. She's at a friend's house. By the time David was able to get to LA, Brandy had already called Archie, and he had come and picked her up.
Good.
And for the first time, Archie listens to his daughter's story. Mm. He is on tenterhooks. Mm-hmm. He listened well.
Good.
And she told about chapter and verse David screaming at her, the abuse, the bruises.
Yeah.
Her mother doesn't believe her. Her mother always takes David's side.
Yeah.
They always think that she's causing trouble. She really isn't. The whole shebang. Archie and Dorothy, along with David, he's the third parent, so here we are, got together with a therapist and all agreed that Brandy would be better off living with her father.
Oh, thank God.
And that is where we're going to end for part 1 of Lobbyist David Miller.
All right. Fuck you, David.
Oh, he's the worst. And on that note, I've been Sarah.
And I've been Jeannie.
And this has been Talk Deadly to Me.